Alrighty. We are getting started here a little bit earlier than expected, and I'll tell you guys why here in just a minute. But we are at the very beginning of what could potentially be the biggest severe thunderstorm event of the summer. We are watching for the potential of a widespread, catastrophic, damaging wind threat, as well as the potential for a couple of significant tornadoes and extremely large hail, potentially up to the size of large apples or greater. So, we've got ourselves a huge day on our hands. As many of you guys probably know by now, last night the Storm Prediction Center decided to make the move to upgrade the outlook to a 4 out of 5 moderate risk of severe weather for portions of southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma. And this is going to be a pretty big problem because we've got ourselves an environment that has extreme instability, heavy on the wind shear, and even like our vertical wind shear values, our SRH values are incredible considering that it is June. So again, we've got ourselves quite the event to watch today. We're going to be watching again for the threat of a couple of strong tornadoes and potentially some significant to catastrophic damaging wind gusts as well across portions of mainly southern Kansas, but again far northern Oklahoma and potentially all the way back even into portions of the Texas Panhandle. But the reason that we're starting off this live stream so early is because we've already got a pretty serious situation ongoing for Harper, Kansas. Now, this supercell is basically the prime supercell that we could possibly see in this setup. This is a semi-discrete supercell, alright? It has no potential of becoming outflow dominant anytime soon. We've got that very clear inflow notch. We've already got strong rotation. We're approaching a somewhat major population center for southern Kansas standards, that of which being Harper. This is the county seat of, what county was this? This is, I believe, Kingman County, or excuse me, no, this is Harper County. We are, again, in an environment that is extremely unstable in terms of our surface-based instability. If we go ahead and take a look at the 19Z run of the HRRR here, if it would like to go ahead and load up for us on Radar Omega here, again, you'll notice that the environment out here is very primed. We've got ourselves, over 4,000 joules per kilogram of surface cape. Taking a look at our wind shear values, they are no less impressive. Again, we've got around 50 to 60 knots of shear within the first 6 kilometers of the atmosphere, which is very impressive. Even the updraft low sea tracks are showing a very strong signal for the potential of a couple of long tracking supercells with a threat of a couple of tornadoes, potentially a strong one or two today. So, again, very gnarly supercell right now. Crossing Highway 160 is where your area of rotation is going to be on the south side of Harper, Kansas. Now, just above my head there, we've got PA storm trackers out there today, and they are actually on this specific thunderstorm right now. They hit the jackpot. They positioned for the HRRR magic supercells, and that's exactly what ended up convecting. So good for them. Again, they've got a beautiful shot with the supercell right now. Again, you'll notice that just absolutely incredible shelf cloud protruding out of the thunderstorm there. We've also got storm intermediate on the ground today. They are actually located, traveling over to this supercell, so we'll be keeping a close eye on them as well. But again, PA Storm Trackers just has an absolutely beautiful view of this significant supercell, again, that has the capabilities to produce a tornado over the next couple of minutes. So, again, very stacked day for the potential of a couple of strong tornadoes as well as significant damaging wind gusts. I hope you guys are here to join me for quite a while this evening because, again, we've got ourselves a very long night ahead. Again, the damaging wind threat is really starting to kick up now across portions of southern Kansas near the Wichita metro area. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings going out for most of the Wichita metro. I will say the Wichita radar site is not loading on Radar Omega, unfortunately, and I don't even think it's working on Radar Scope. I think it went down, like, just literally at the worst time possible. Yeah, so it's not a Radar Omega issue. The radar is literally just out as the event started, which is very unfortunate. But luckily, we don't really have too many struggles with the radar coverage in this area because we still got the northern Oklahoma radar. The Dodge City, Kansas radar could be somewhat helpful, and then also the radar site near Topeka and the radar site for Tulsa. So we are going to have ourselves, again, a potentially very significant day of extreme severe weather that the state of Kansas hasn't seen, at least for the damaging wind threat, in quite a while. We were talking about that threat just, a few days ago in North Texas for a potential derecho. That didn't really pan out. I'm not saying that we're going to end up seeing a derecho event today, but I'm saying it's possible. The problem is it is going to be mainly multiple separate MCS events, not one huge, long-lived damaging wind event. But there is the main focus, obviously, on the one that we have developing now. If you don't know, the definition of a derecho has to travel over 400 miles. The wind swath has to be over 240 miles wide the entire time. You'll notice that we are very easily hitting that 240-mile wide wind swath, but the question is, will it travel far enough? And that is a huge question that we have to ask here, because you'll notice that it develops in central Kansas, but then as soon as it gets into portions of Missouri and Arkansas, it dies so hard just due to the fact that our instability is not great. The wind shear is terrible out here in this area, and if it were to do something like that, it would likely travel just over 300 miles, not quite 400 miles. So the question is, is this going to travel far enough to meet derecho criteria? Doesn't really matter. Either way, we're talking about the threat for significant damaging wind gusts up to 100, maybe even higher, 100 miles an hour, that is. So again, we're going to be watching today for pretty much everywhere across southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma. I hope you guys are here to stick with me, because again, this is potentially going to be one of the longest streams in this channel's history. I would like to note our area of rotation south of Harper, Oklahoma, continuing to intensify, getting very tight there in between Harper and Anthony, Kansas. I'm a little surprised they haven't went ahead and given this supercell a tornado warning yet. They do have the severe thunderstorm warning out with the tornado possible tag on it. The area of inflow has kind of been choked off by this this front side supercell merger, so we'll see what happens, but I imagine in the end game that's going to eventually end up intensifying our main supercell here, so we'll see what happens, but this supercell's tornado threat may be briefly limited, which is a good sign. I will say we're also watching for a secondary mode of thunderstorms across portions of the high plains today, back into the northern plains, with severe thunderstorms and potentially the threat of a couple of tornadoes if instability values can pull through across portions of South Dakota, even all the way up in parts of Wyoming, Colorado out there, pretty much everywhere west of the central plains, even into portions of the Rockies. So we'll be watching that threat at the same time, but again, our more significant threat obviously comes with our Kansas-Oklahoma state line thunderstorms. I'm going to go ahead and get a community post out here about this stream so that I can share this out with all y'all, but I really do encourage you guys to do the same, because again, we are going to be live here all evening for everybody that needs this coverage, and again, this is one of the more significant thunderstorm events that this part of the world has seen in quite a while. Again, look at that beautiful storm structure from PA Storm Trackers just above my head. I mean, that is incredible. That is genuinely beautiful. Again, PA Storm Trackers and Storm Media are the chasers we have out there today. They have given us permission to use their feeds for this live stream. So I hope you guys, again, are having a good day today. Again, I'm very happy that we get to get out here and save some lives again, potentially, while these thunderstorms wreak havoc across portions of Kansas. Hopefully we can end up saving some people from the disaster of what is to come, because again, this is not a day that you should take lightly. It is not a day that you should play around with. This is a very serious threat of significant severe weather. And again, the level 4 out of 5 moderate risk card, it was pulled last night. A lot of people were questioning it, but man, did the HRRR and the NAM models pull through and materialize after that moderate risk was issued. But even before then, it looks like it could have been a significant tornado and damaging wind threat. Again, look at this. These two little supercells here, these little twin supercells, just north of the Tulsa Metro here at around 9 p.m. That is exactly what the HRRR is forecasting is going to happen. And I'm not saying that it's going to, but what I will say is a good sign that it might is just the fact that the HRRR forecasted it to be around the Harper area right now, and that's exactly where it is. So far, the HRRR has materialized for this event, and there's a good chance that it continues to do that throughout the rest of the night. And if that does end up happening, again, we could potentially be talking about the threat for an isolated, strong, to potentially even an intense tornado briefly. If we take a look at our surface-based instability values, again, you'll notice that they peak in northern Oklahoma, which is actually pretty interesting. That is not instability, that is SRH. Let's go ahead and fix that. Actually, it's reflectivity with the SRH overlay. I don't know why I did that, but if we take a look at our instability values out here, you'll notice that they are very impressive north of the Tulsa Metro, in particular around 4,500 to 5,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE. Tornadoes on the ground, Reed has it. Okay, so we now have a tornado on the ground, supposedly, with our storm just off to the southwest of Wichita. If you're in this area, you need to seek shelter immediately. Again, potentially an ongoing tornado south of Harper, Kansas. You got to seek shelter. Again, this is a significant situation here as this tornado approaches the Danville area. Again, supposedly a brief touchdown there. I'm watching Reed's stream. Can't quite see it because the quality is so blurry, but I mean, if Reed says it's on the ground, then it's most likely on the ground. Let's see. Oh, wow. So he actually had it, and it was actually very photogenic. Wow. So, first photogenic tornado of the day, somewhat rain-wrapped. just south of Harper, Oklahoma. Now, I don't think this is still ongoing, just based off of the live stream now, but just in the case that it does recycle, you need to be seeking shelter. Again, look at PA Storm Tracker's feed. I mean, this is some of the most... Oh, that's not right. This is some of the most beautiful supercellular structure you're ever going to see, guys. I mean, just look at that absolute beast. Wow. Wow. So again, unwarned tornado on the ground right now, and there we go. They did actually just give that a tornado warning as soon as I said it. Observed tornado warning now going out for Harper and Danville, Kansas. Again, this is a law enforcement and storm chaser confirmed tornado. If you're out here in this area, you got to be seeking shelter. Again, this is a significant tornado ongoing south of Harper, Kansas. Again, this is exactly what we were afraid of, and this is why we decided to go live early, is this supercell is in an environment where it will thrive. It will thrive. So we've got to make sure that we are getting our word out to everybody today. Again, I hope and pray that everybody is taking the warning seriously. Again, it's not a good sign that the Wichita radar's already gone out. That could potentially lead to quite a catastrophic day in portions of Kansas if the damaging wind threat really does materialize how we're looking at it too. Again, we're talking about a very significant threat for extreme, like hurricane force, even damaging wind gusts, potentially, 80, 90, 100 miles an hour, even higher in some localized areas potentially. And this is right after these exact same areas have seen this the night before. We had a 101 mile per hour wind gust recorded at the ASOS station at the Wichita Eisenhower in the west side of Wichita, Kansas. We had an overnight extreme damaging wind event. A huge MCS developed after our tornado of the decade near Dickens, Nebraska. We just saw an absolutely incredible, widespread damaging wind bag, and there are already so many customers out here without power, so their alerts may not be working. Their radios, whatever they are using to get alerts, they may not be super clear. So we need to make sure that we are, again, letting everybody out here know what's going on, because again, this is a very serious situation, and unfortunately not everybody's going to have the coverage that they typically would in a situation like this. And again, now the Wichita radar's down, and it went down like at the worst time possible, right as the first severe thunderstorm warning was issued. The radar stopped updating. Really unfortunate stuff. But anyway, give me just a second. So again, first tornado of the day on the ground now in Kansas. Again, this is just south of the town of Harper. Give me just a second. Alrighty. So again, I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Thank you all for tuning in. I saw Weston and Kevin and a few other people in the chat. OTR Trucker. Hi, just signing in. Will this make it to West Tennessee in the Jackson area? No, this is not going to be a threat for Jackson, Tennessee, but I will say you could potentially be looking at the threat for a couple of thunder boomers tomorrow. You got that marginal risk of severe weather that goes across the southwestern corner of the Tennessee area. Again, right now the models are painting that this is mainly going to be a midwestern threat and an enhanced risk. A 3 out of 5 risk of severe weather has been put in place from Lansing, Michigan, all the way back down to the areas east of Springfield, Missouri. I do think that this is mainly going to be a significant damaging wind threat. The tornado threat's kind of downtrended with this potential over the last few days, but a 5% tornado probability does remain in play all the way from portions of the central oven mitt back through down into like areas in southern Missouri again. So potentially a threat for a couple of tornadoes tomorrow, but especially some significant damaging wind gusts. Again, that's what's driving our enhanced risk of severe weather right now. A 30% enhanced damaging wind threat going all the way from areas east of Springfield back over towards Lansing, Michigan. I would not be surprised to see a localized hatched area get added for that threat, and if that were to happen, it would likely be something like this back into portions of Indiana and Ohio. I really think that that's where we're going to end up seeing the greatest significant damaging wind threat. But for right now, again, we got to focus on our days one day at a time here, because we got today to worry about, we got tomorrow to worry about, and then even after that, we're going to be looking at Thursday quite intensely for portions of the East Coast. But again, it's better to take things one day at a time here, especially whenever we've got a very serious situation ongoing. So again, if you are out here just off to the southeast of Harper, Kansas, near the town of Danville, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. Again, PA Storm Trackers has an unreal structure of this thunderstorm right now. I mean, that genuinely looks AI generated. Again, they are located just off to the southeast of Harper. I believe that they're actually traveling specifically on one of these little dirt roads, or not dirt roads, but one of these country roads out here just southeast of Harper, south of Highway 160. And again, Stormwater Media on this as well. They've also got a really incredible view of this thing. I will say, again, this tornado is most likely occluded at this point, but it is possible that this does recycle. It does look like we're trying to see a new hook echo develop with this thunderstorm, so we'll see what happens with this over the next several minutes. I do want to quickly mention our Wichita thunderstorms are, again, starting to convex pretty impressively. This is actually not likely going to be what produces our big-time MCS event for today. That's most likely going to develop further off to the west here, at least as what the HRRR and NAM models both are painting, and pretty much all of our other short-range models as well. But if we take a look at our composite reflectivity here, you're going to notice that it starts up at around 7 p.m. there. That's where you start to notice all those thunder boomers convecting. Again, that is a pretty big, serious problem, because this is not only going to be an overnight event, but most of these people still don't have power out here. Some areas just have really terrible cell service out here in southern Kansas. The radar's down. This is a virtually not necessarily a worst case scenario, but one of the worst case scenarios that we could have seen for this damaging wind threat ahead of time. And again, this is looking like it's going to be a very significant threat overnight. I really do think that the tornado threat kind of stops once we get to, say, 8, 9, 10 p.m. I'd say an isolated QLCS tornado can't be ruled out across portions of northern Oklahoma and maybe far southeast Kansas, just due to the fact that we have some extreme instability out here. But as of right now, I would say that we are going to probably be looking for the greatest tornado threat to come between kind of now and 7 p.m. New mesoscale discussion for the same cell alone mentions the threat for a couple of supercellular tornadoes possible. Intensification is favored with a peak intensity of 100 to 130 mile per hour wind gusts. Let's take a look at that. Yes, there we go. So, wow, yeah, they don't do this very often, but they did actually mention the threat for a couple of tornadoes with this one singular supercell alone as it moves off to the east-southeast. So, again, locally favorable area for a couple tornadoes, supercellular tornadoes, that is, during the next couple of hours. Again, anywhere from kind of here back over to the north side of the Tulsa Metro, eventually over time, is where this supercell will likely progress. Again, a lot of the models kind of has this getting a little brother as well, so we'll see if that ends up happening. But as of right now, we got to focus on things one supercell at a time. And again, it looks like this one could be quite big in the near term. I will say, whenever this merger fully undergoes the proper supercell that we have going, we could actually see a pretty significant uptrend in the tornado threat with this. And again, areas in southern Kansas really need to be on the lookout for this. Pretty much anywhere between here all the way back through areas like Cedar Vale need to be on the lookout for the potential of a strong tornado threat, potentially a SIG-TOR threat over the next couple of hours, as again, this environment is almost prime for today. Again, we've got 5,000 joules per kilogram of instability out here in this area. We've got ourselves, 60 knots a shear. Your SRH values are quite literally off the chart. We're talking like over 600. I mean, it is a ridiculous environment out here today. So if any supercells do become discrete, that could be a problem. What's good, Jesse? Get to 3 landfall possible in Mexico tomorrow. Yeah, this is basically what a lot of people have been comparing this to on WX Twitter. This is basically Otis 2.0. Can you give me a brief rundown? I just put my batteries in my weather radio, so I'm prepared. Yeah, so again, not to be like dramatic or anything, but your neck of the woods is particularly where we'd be looking out for the greatest tornado and the greatest damaging wind threat. So I don't know if that excites you or scares you, but again, we're mainly going to be looking out for damaging winds kind of after the midnight hour, potentially midnight 1 a.m. there. Significant damaging wind gusts, potentially 80 miles an hour or greater, can't be ruled out. The HRRR model does have a lot of the supercells associated with this mode. Further off to your north, again, kind of just riding the Kansas-Oklahoma state line, but if those dip a little bit further south, which it looks like they could just based off of the track of this supercell that we have now, we'll see if they make their way down to you. So we'll see what ends up happening. Evan Freiberger literally said this seems like a bust due to cloud cover earlier, but now he's live again an hour after he said that, and he said, I don't know if we'll be live again because this seems like it fell. Again, no hate to Mr. Freiberger. Do you guys think that's his real name? No hate to Mr. Freiberger, but I don't see how in the world you can call this a bust 5 hours before the freaking QLCS even develops. So we'll see what happens. But I'm just going to say this right here and right now. The chance that this is a bust event is there, but you cannot say that yet. You cannot. Mr. Berger, that's what we're going to call him. So anyway, again, the potential for this supercell to produce potentially another tornado here does exist as this moves into the county further to the east here, just south of Wichita. I'm not sure exactly what county this is. Again, still some significant damaging wind gusts battering the Wichita metro area. This severe thunderstorm warning now mentions the threat for ping pong ball-sized hail and damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour. In particular, the areas that we'd be watching for here are kind of the north side of the Wichita metro area for that greatest hail threat to materialize. That's another thing. Lapse rates are actually pretty decent out here in this environment. They're not anything crazy, but sitting between 7 and 9, depending on which areas you look like, that is pretty impressive. Yeah, I don't know if Vincent's still mad at us or not. I hope he's not, but he has not been texting all day, so I'm just going to say that's probably not a good sign. Anyway, what did the SIG-TOR parameter values do the reflectivity? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. The significant tornado parameter values. That is crazy. That is crazy. This would be like this would be April 27th of the plains if this is what things actually looks like. Anyway, I'm sorry, that's probably not funny to anybody else. I thought that was hilarious. But again, an ongoing tornado here, potentially still, now downgraded to radar indicated, as this approaches areas south of Danville, Kansas. Again, if this does produce another tornado, it's unlikely at this point, at least for the near term, but if it does, it would be just north of Freeport. And again, right now, this supercell has had a history of producing a brief tornado south of Harper, confirmed by Reed Timmer. Again, I can't bring that up on the stream, obviously, for copyright reasons, but I will go ahead and repost it on Twitter. Despite the fact that it was slightly rain-wrapped, it was a very clear and even somewhat, I don't know if I could call it photogenic, but a very clear and obvious tornado there, and quite a way to start off the day. And again, it just goes to show that this threat is likely going to produce the potential for a couple of significant tornadoes if the first discrete supercell that develops already produces a photogenic cone. I mean, that's kind of crazy. Hey, Reed did not give you permission to post this. Please take it down. I thought that meme died in May. That was so May 2025, guys, right? But anyway, in all seriousness, we'll continue to watch this supercell as it moves east-southeast. I will say my back is already hurting because I have the worst posture in the world. I sit like this the whole time. So I'm going to try to avoid doing that this stream because not only does it hurt my back, but you also can't see my face over the stupid camera. I'd like to, move the desk back here for just a smudge, and then this would be much easier. Let's do this. There we go. Nashville better get placed in a slate tomorrow. Unfortunately for you, I'm going to doubt right now that that ends up happening. I mean, it's not impossible, but I just don't see, very extreme kinematics down there. Yeah, that's how I stream now. This is where I stream from now. But yeah. But anyway, we'll continue to watch this supercell as it moves off to the east-southeast here. Again, areas down the line that need to be prepared, potentially Argonia. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. But seriously, Argonia, Mayfield, Wellington, South Haven, areas along I-35, you guys need to be ready. It's not likely that they're going to extend this tornado warning, but I do think they'll issue a severe thunderstorm warning out ahead of this. Again, I think that the tornado threat briefly remains localized, or excuse me, not localized, but minimal, as this moves off to the east-southeast. Again, I think that it's going to take this cell merger to properly undergo everything. Alright, bro, the December 12th reference. That's crazy. But in all seriousness, again, the potential that this supercell does end up producing a tornado over the next several minutes is still there. Again, I think it's going to be more intense as it moves off to the east and the cell merger properly cooperates, per se. But anyway. What's up, Hoosier? But yeah, I think that this supercell will probably be one of our twins here that the HRRR has loved so much over the past few runs. Radar Omega's kind of crap, as a lot of you guys know by now. The 19Z run is the last thing that loaded on Omega, but if we actually go over to the models here and we take a look at the HRRR, Again, you'll notice that we already have the beginning of the 21Z run coming out. So if we take a look at the 20Z, it also likes the idea of a twin pair of supercells moving through portions of southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma, being the main tornadic producers there. Again, the environment out here is really quite primed, in all honesty, for the threat of a couple of strong tornadoes. Again, you've got that ridiculous SRH, you've got yourselves a good amount of wind shear, some pretty nice instability, decent lapse rates. I was about to say W lapse rates, then I forgot I was live. A really nice-looking photograph there, very impressive wind profile. Again, I mean, it is not a terrible setup for the threat of a couple of strong tornadoes. It's really not. Now, does that mean that it's necessarily going to materialize? Not necessarily. If these supercells are too close, they could cut off each other's inflows, but I think for right now, we can probably say, hey, the threat for a couple of strong tornadoes does exist, depending on storm mode and how things really get going. So anyway, how are you guys doing today? Let me know where everybody's tuning in from. Dude, this is so sad. I lost the file for the bingo card whenever I switched computers. We can always look back at it on stream, though, and see what was on there and check it off, but we definitely don't have a bingo yet. Douglas County, Las Vegas, Nashville, Claremore, Oklahoma. Claremore is actually an area that we could be watching for the threat of a couple of potentially significant damaging wind gusts, and then maybe a brief tornado if these cells trend further south, very similar to Weston's area. We'll see what happens, but I think the main threat's going to be significant damaging winds, mainly around 1, 2 a.m. So make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts that is going to wake you up. That are going to wake you up, sorry. Highlands, New Jersey. Pete, you'll be on the floor for some potentially significant severe weather on Thursday then. You got that slight risk of severe weather going out for pretty much all of the northeastern United States, back through New England, all the way back towards Charlotte, North Carolina. This slight risk actually, I believe, includes over 50 million people. Yeah, 54 million people in the slate, 63 million in the marginal. So for Thursday, we already have over 117 million people facing the threat for significant severe weather. So we'll see what happens. But yeah. How does Vincent feel about Thursday? He was hyping it up like crazy. He was like, I have 3,000 instability. And then we looked and he had 1,000. I don't want to crap on Vincent, though. We chill, we chill. But, alright, see you, Jesse. He is in that slight risk of severe weather, so. Oh, yeah, but just whenever you're ready, you can call me. I'll be good at any time. Discord, FaceTime, whatever. See you, Mr. Twister. Do I think the line will choke off all the cells? Well, if you're saying, will the line catch up to the cells and kill them? Probably not, but the cells are just going to die out kind of before the line makes its way through. So. You swallowed a cherry pit. Doesn't it only take, like, swallowing 2 of those to kill you? Not to put you in panic or anything, but isn't, like, cyanide poisoning a very, very real threat with those? Yeah, I certainly see a 5% tour risk. We have a tornado warning now going out for portions of Pennsylvania. This is going out for Kellersburg. We have some broad circulation just off the west of town. If you're in this area, make sure you're seeking shelter immediately. That kind of came out of nowhere, but this has been in effect, I guess, for the past, like, 8 minutes. So if you're in this area, make sure you're seeking shelter. Again, this is a tornado warning going out for Armstrong and Clarion counties in Pennsylvania. If you're in this area, make sure you're seeking shelter immediately. Again, somewhat broad area of circulation. They did just update the tornado warning, though. So we'll see if it's radar indicated still or if it does go observed here. But either way, you got to make sure that you are seeking shelter out here in Kellersburg. I just realized my sleeve's like all the way up. Look ridiculous. But this is still a radar indicated tornado warning. Again, your area of circulation right now going to be just off to the west of Kellersburg, right over Widnoon. Um, but again, I'm still somewhat concerned about our supercell east of Harper here. I mean, as this approaches Argonia, the very real potential does exist for this to produce another tornado in this kind of environment. I mean, it cannot be ruled out. Our supercell, not necessarily our supercell, but our storm's moving through downtown Wichita now. Pretty much in the downtown area. Again, a lot of that large hail going to be localized to the north side of the city. Again, this severe thunderstorm warning warned for ping pong ball sized hail and damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour. Unfortunately, Oh, I just realized the Wichita radar is back. Yay! Let's go. We got to tell everybody on Twitter. I really didn't think that was going to come back. That is a very good thing, though. Otherwise, again, this would have been a much more dangerous night. That's what I'll say. But anyway. Why do you keep saying Argonia? It's crazy. Bro, I saw it last time, okay? Anyway, at this point, again, mainly watching our, ridiculously enough, mainly watching our supercell up in Pennsylvania. Rotation getting much weaker by the scan, so really not a whole lot to look out for with that one at this point. I am really quite interested on how this managed to develop rotation. I suppose instability isn't like terrible. I mean, we've got 1,000 joules per kilogram of surface cape. And I mean, the shear is definitely not horrible out here either. I mean, 30 knots within the first 6 kilometers of the atmosphere isn't great, but definitely not what I was expecting to see there whenever I saw that we had 2 tour warnings. By the way, we are watching this supercell, excuse me, now potentially bringing the threat of significant damaging wind gusts over Ewell and Conway Springs. This is pretty interesting. Again, it's not like it's contamination, because we've got a signal from both radars of elevated wind gusts. So, if you're out here, again, north of Mayfield, make sure that you are prepared. Again, they did issue that severe thunderstorm warning that we were talking about finally for golf ball-sized hail, damaging winds with 60 miles an hour. And again, they've got the tornado possible tag on it, so they're likely not going to reissue the actual tornado warning. Again, SRM right in the thick of the rain here, and the inflow notch where it originally was. Pretty impressive downpour right now at the moment. A lot of these areas have already experienced flash flooding from our overnight MCS, and that is only going to get worse. That's actually a pretty significant threat that we're looking out for today that I didn't even mention yet. If we take a look at our excessive rainfall outlook, you'll notice that we've got that huge moderate risk going all the way from portions of central Kansas back over to the Kansas-Oklahoma state line to the Bartlesville area. So we're going to be looking out for some excessive rainfall potentially, especially after last night. We get all this rain again. Definitely not going to help matters. See you, Hoosier. Thank you for tuning in. A severe thunderstorm warning has now been issued for the Medicine Lodge supercell here for quarter-sized hail and damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour, so make sure you are getting indoors if you're in that area. Thank you, Mr. Twister. Go ahead and pin that. My back is hurting so much, guys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I may have to just switch around here. Hold up, chat. Oh my gosh, yeah, my back is going to fall apart if I sit like that the whole stream. Alright. There we go. Beautiful. Anyways. Again, at this point, mainly to be watching for our supercell that originally produced our tornado near Harper to continue to move off to the east and mainly become a localized damaging wind threat, actually. Again, as we mentioned, it's not only starting to take that QLCS shape, kind of connecting to our other supercells further off to the north, but if we take a look at the velocities again, you'll notice that elevated pocket of wind gust there, just north of the Mayfield area. Which, again, is not contamination or anything like that, because you can notice it from both radars. But again, we'll see what happens. Again, we're obviously nowhere near the beginning of this event quite yet in terms of the damage and wind threat. That's really only going to start to materialize till like after 6 or 7 p.m. But again, you can kind of see around 7 p.m. there. That's where a lot of our clustery storm mode begins to develop, and then eventually, big time damage and wind threat there. Vanceburg, Kentucky, rotating broadly. It's not this supercell. I don't know why I call everything a supercell. That is not a supercell. That is a thunder shower, Davis. I don't know why I'm calling everything a supercell today. That's why they didn't pull the 10 sig. Yeah, I mean, that, and then, again, these supercells just have such a little amount of time to properly do anything, just due to the fact that this is just not a discrete environment, really. Again, if they developed a little bit further down to the south, perhaps it would have been more impressive, because not only would they have been more discrete, but they also would have had the potential to interact with those boundaries. But, I don't know. We did just get an extension for our severe thunderstorm warning for the Wichita metro area. This now goes all the way out towards El Dorado, Augusta, Andover, and Bloomington, Kansas. This is for damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour. And ping pong bowl size tail. So if you're in this area, make sure you're moving indoors and away from windows immediately. I saw that, and the problem is people say things like that, and I don't know how to say, like, in a respectful way that they're wrong, because that is not an opinion-based statement. That is a fact that it does not deserve that. But again, what can you do? I mean, really not a whole lot. What's up, Evan? It's starting to flood like a river in northern Georgia, and I'm trying to get home to Ohio. You got a long drive ahead, my friend, and then you get to deal with thunderstorms tomorrow in Ohio. Significant damaging winds at the evening time hours is what we're mainly going to be looking out for. I would not be shocked if the enhanced risk did get moved, like, a little bit further off to the east, potentially. Like, kind of just, like, east-southeast in general. Potentially a little bit further, closer to the Ohio River. But, again, Ohio Valley damaging windbag, not an uncommon thing to see in late June. Not whatsoever. So, anyway, HRRR20Z, again, has already been out for a while, but here it is on Radar Omega. Again, you'll notice that it has that really just quite messy, like, semi-clustery, not even like a linear, but just really a semi-clustery supercellular mode over the northeast Oklahoma, southeast Kansas state line. That could really limit our damaging wind and tornado threat if something like that were to happen. I mean, this may honestly be something similar to what happened with our North Texas event. It really could be. But, again, I'm not going to sit here and call it a bust. But we'll see. Something like that were to play out, we would not be live for 6 or 7 hours like we were talking about. Yeah, the overnight MCS, man, we were not expecting it to be nearly as significant as it was. But we do have a new tornado warning going out for Trinidad, Colorado. Thank you, Storm Chaser 575. This is going to be going out for areas like Ludlow and El Moro along I-25 just north of Trinidad. If you're in this area, make sure you're seeking shelter immediately. Rotation looks to be relatively broad at the moment, but we'll see if that intensifies. Kind of shocked that they issued a Tor warning for that, I'm going to be honest. I think it's just kind of one of those better to be safe than sorry moments. Again, significant damage and wind gusts becoming more prominent here with our storm south of Conway Springs. Measuring on the velocities here, damaging wind gusts 60 to 65 miles an hour. These are slightly elevated, but not too far. I mean, we're only 25 miles away from the radar site, so. Why does the Aberdeen radar have an outflow boundary that looks like a Doctor Strange circle? You know, you're not wrong. The fact that it is just getting larger is really interesting. um, I wouldn't be shocked if some of these thunderstorms do start to drop some big time hail here pretty shortly then. Um, but yeah. Anyway, again, kind of just waiting here to see if our at this point our supercell's not becoming detached. Let's be real here. Going back over to Pennsylvania, we do have a new tornado warning going out for Dot in parts of I-70 north of Hancock. If you're in this area, make sure you are seeking shelter immediately. Again, very broad circulation with that, though. Aberdeen is in South Dakota. But yeah. So, again, kind of just waiting here to see if our damaging wind threat will materialize soon, I guess. I mean, we were boasting how this was going to be like a super epic, ultra long stream, but we may split it into two, actually. That's what it looks like it could end up happening here. What's up, orcs? These wind damage reports are from our overnight MCS, though, so. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, even our damaging wind threat looks like it's going to be at least localized to areas to the east now. And again, it really can't go too much longer before it just kind of falls apart due to a lack of multiple things. First thing, instability out here this far east, really not super impressive. I mean, it's decent. It's not anywhere near as much as it was further off to the west. You got like 2,500 surface cape. And again, you've also got virtually no lower level shear, which you don't want too much shear in the lower levels for a significant damaging wind threat. But you kind of have to have at least some in most situations, unless you've got, like, insane instability, which we do not. So, we'll see, but I don't know. I mean, we just kind of, it's one of those situations where we're going to have to wait and see what happens. But it would be kind of fitting to have the second moderate risk driven by wind in June be another bust. Well, let's see. I mean, I don't see anything that screams like. It could be, we could end up seeing a couple of land spouts potentially. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting though. Oh, that is weird. It almost just looks like a really high precip OFB. But we'll see. Jesse's ready to call on Discord, but they ain't really let me know. Let's call up Jesse the Big J, as we like to call him here in the business. Like how I said unwarned tornado on the ground and he responded 20 minutes later.
Colorado. So you guys got to get in your safe spots. Yeah, already.
Jesse!
Okay, this.
How's it
Hello?
going?
It's going good. It's like a crazy echo. I think it's gone now. No, we're good. Okay. How are you doing, Davis?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing pretty fantastic. Dude, did you see the new HRRR run?
Yes. Wait,
That's
21Z
Oh, yeah, I think so.
on Pivotal?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Kind of crazy.
Is it kind of wild?
Kind of wild indeed.
Let's see. What in the world?
Yeah.
It's not even impressive. That's just weird.
I know.
That I mean, that is like
Go hour 5 and look at those 2 cells in Kansas. They're gonna be like in the most peak environment ever, dude.
hold up, my thing crashed.
You're good. Guys, look at those shear values. That's insane, bro. Yeah, I don't even. The HRRR is just like HRRRing at this point, bro.
For real.
Yeah, and it's showing like a new storm like popping up on those boundaries. And if that happens, that thing's just gonna go insane.
So, yeah, I mean, those. Oh yeah, those supercells are in like a pretty decent spot. My only question would be, are those
Yeah.
going to be discrete enough to produce?
Produce tornadoes. Valid.
I mean, it's possible, and again, you are very correct. That is like the peak environment here for this setup. Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah,
is.
note it.
That is a crazy sounding. Holy
I
cow.
know, dude.
216 3 cape, 3600 surface cape, 550 SRH, 67 knots of shear at the cloud layer. You got a storm slinky to turn at 80 degrees, a wild hodograph, very good wind profile, somewhat elongated. Crazy, like, environment.
I know, dude. If that plays out and those are able to be discreet enough, I feel like we could see some insane tornadoes tonight, dude.
Dude, yeah, I mean, this is, like, again, it all comes down to will those supercells cut off each other's inflow or not, though.
Yep, definitely.
But I don't know, man. I mean, that is a gnarly looking environment.
I know, dude. Holy, and it's literally showing. If you go to like hour 1, it's literally showing that supercell just popping off on top of those boundaries. And if that happens,
Yeah.
that's just gonna help aid the tornado potential with this thing, dude.
Dude, that is
And it's gonna be
oh my
discreet. So like,
gosh.
holy crap, chat. Today might just pop off, guys.
Just maybe.
Tornado wise and wind wise, because it's massive wind bag too.
By the way, our supercell that does have a tornado warning in Pennsylvania actually did have some pretty impressive rotation just a scan ago along I-70 there. That's something to look out for. Very clear donut hole and reflectivity there for a little bit as well. We'll watch that. I mean, that's not impossible that that does produce a brief tornado as that approaches along I-70, so make sure you're seeking shelter.
Yeah, pretty impressive losses, and yeah, we had a donut hole with that. That's crazy. I didn't
Also,
even know that was tornado.
our Tor Warren supercell over Trinidad, Colorado, very impressive hail core, even a hail spike there noted on reflectivity now. It's actually a double hail spike.
Oh crap! We got Storm Spotter about to freaking core punch this thing.
So again,
Dude,
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
you go.
Okay. I was gonna say something that I was just gonna say I'm sad that Freddy's not chasing today.
I know, bro. I saw that post and I was like, dang it, dude.
Blew out his window. So, did you say Reed Timmer had to be with that tornado?
Yes. Let me send you the photo. It's actually it was a very photogenic tornado, even though it was somewhat rain wrapped.
Bet that's
By the way, tornado warning continues for Cokedale, Colorado. Still radar indicated. Let me send you the photo though. Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, this is a very new tornado or excuse me, no, tornado warning continues for our Pennsylvania storm as well, and this is still a radar indicated warning. Okay, I'm just gonna send you his tweet if that's okay.
no, yeah, go ahead.
You want me to send it
It's
on
fine.
Discord or on iMessage?
Discord.
All right, bet.
Thank you.
So there you go. Severe thunderstorm warning just issued for areas east of Quincy, Illinois. Um,
Oh wow.
Significant damaging winds, some hail there as well potentially. Um,
Wow.
Again, I'm still just kind of waiting to see if our embedded QLCS supercell is going to do anything now south of Conway Springs.
Yep. We just gotta give it a minute. New severe thunderstorm warning, guys. Here in southern Kansas. This includes Zenda, Spivey, and Nashville here in Kansas. Get ready for half-dollar size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Make sure you guys are getting indoors, staying away from windows. If you are included in that warning.
Again, we're starting to see the thunderstorms that may end up being a part of our QLCS convect here, just off to the north of, or excuse me, just off to the east of Pratt, Kansas. These little thunder showers here, guys, these are likely going to end up being what develops into our eventual large QLCS overnight, so we'll see what happens. Um, but yeah, I mean, 21Z HRRR really is pretty interesting. Again, these supercells just, if they are discreet, they could do something. That's what I'm going to say for right now.
Yep. Most definitely.
And again, even some of these supercells that are starting to convect out here in the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles, they may have a localized tornado threat over the next several minutes. Actually, they're not quite convecting yet. HRRR at them convecting by now. I guess there's a couple of showers developing near Hooker, Oklahoma. I'd kind of watch those.
Those could pose a slight tornado threat, just not they're not in too great of an environment, and they seem to turn into a line pretty quickly, or at least a cluster.
Oh, the environment's actually pretty good. If you look at the instability, we've got 5,000 Cape out here.
Yeah, I don't think shear was great. Maybe from
We've
what I
got,
saw,
I mean, we got
maybe it was.
45
I don't
knots.
know. 0 to 1.
0 to 6. Let me look at 0 to 1.
Okay.
Yeah, 0 to 1, we've still got around 30 knots, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind. Pretty decent environment for those too. Seems as if. Here, let me.
Orcs, how did you wake up at 5 p.m.?
That is insane, Ark.
That is actually wild.
That is wild. Yeah, it looks like we're lacking SRH, and that's honestly about it.
Yeah, I wake up pretty much every day now at noon because my mom makes me wake up at noon.
Bro, my mom makes me wake up at like 8 a.m., dude.
Well, I have to
It's
wake up
terrible.
at 6 a.m. to feed my dog, but then I can go back to sleep.
Oh! Yeah, never mind. I'm gonna get off that.
Which 6 a.m. for me is, that's kind of funny. 6 a.m. for me is 4 a.m. for you.
Yeah, it's insane.
I remember during the school year, we'd text every morning, and you'd be like the only one that wasn't there because you're still asleep.
I was so asleep, yeah.
Very contaminated on our supercell approaching Trinidad, but if it wasn't contaminated, man, what a velocity couple of guys. Seriously, though, it does look like we could still have some broad rotation there near Trinidad, so make sure you are seeing shelter. Um, and wow, yeah, just like that, our supercell near Hooker that we were just talking about, you'll notice it's really starting to convect there. So, look out, guys.
Oh wow, it is. Yeah. What's that otter? What's the SRH at right now for which storm? Which area?
Jesse, look at what I just texted you. You just don't show it on stream.
Okay, on Discord. Oh. That's hilarious. Let's take a look. Models. I don't know. Oh, they have 21Z on HRRR. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Looking at SRH near Trinidad Medicine Lodge. You said okay. SRH. So our SRH from the 0 to 3 kilometer is nearing around 200 in areas, but mainly around 150 in most areas. And then from 0 to 3 kilometers, we're looking at about 300 SRH in that area. So yeah, again, very decent environment. More than decent, I would say, but very good environment for that storm too. And it is pretty discreet, so we gotta watch out for that.
This is so interesting. Yeah, Kevin's right. I mean, if you look, Jesse, over at the Clovis radar, look at that band of showers, and if you look at velocities, there's actually a couple broad areas of circulation developing.
Clovis radar.
My man better know where Clovis is, bro.
I
He
do,
went
bro.
there. He chased there.
Oh wow! I chased there. I did. I bagged a monster in that area.
At a
Oh
time,
wow! That is what the heck?
at a time
That
it
is so weird. What's
at a
up?
time it was tornado of the year.
Yep.
Not
And then that
anymore.
got absolutely. That got robbed, thrown in the trash, and squashed
Guys, I'm gonna be
all at the same
honest.
time.
Yesterday's was way. I saw so many people saying that Dodge City was still more photogenic than that. I don't think it was. Again, SRM and PA Storm Trackers both still have a view of this incredible embedded QLCS supercell here. Actually, it's somewhat detached now. It's kind of its own thing. We may have a little inflow notch developing there. We got a little cell merger actually going into the inflow notch, so we'll see what happens with that. But I wouldn't be shocked to see rotation intensify here again soon south of Mayfield, Kansas.
Yeah, we got multiple storm chasers on that. And it looks like, hold up. Oh, they for a second it looked like PA Storm Trackers had a pretty decent wall cloud. Let me see. Yeah, there's a wall cloud trying to get going right there. So definitely gotta
SRM
watch
has a
out for
view
that.
of the main structure. Very nice supercell. You said PA Storm Trackers as a wall cloud.
Yeah, it's just starting to form.
Oh yeah,
It
on the
seems.
left there.
Yep.
Sweet. Yeah,
Good.
the tornado from Nebraska yesterday did get a preliminary rating of EF2 134 for the Benta irrigation plant, whatever they're called. By the way, significant pocket of elevated wind gusts developing just west of Wellington with this supercell. Again, this is not contamination, guys, because it's verified via multiple radars. These damaging wind gusts north of Mayfield are significant. Now, obviously, this is all contamination down here, but up here you've got yourselves a legitimate pocket of elevated wind gusts south of Anson, Kansas. Damaging winds 70 to 75 miles an hour being estimated on velocities about 1,000 feet into the atmosphere. So, definitely the potential for some 70-mile-an-hour surface gusts there.
Hey Davis, I'd like you to look at the Cherokee, Oklahoma radar. We got a little blip going up just what the 21Z was showing right over those boundaries. If you look at the Cherokee,
Oh, yeah, there
Oklahoma.
we go.
So that could be our big tornado producer of the day if that
We'll
can
see, man. We'll
sustain
see.
itself and not cluster up with anything. It's going up right on top of that boundary, and if that latches onto that boundary, there's two different boundaries intersecting right there.
And Jesse,
That's gonna.
look at how quick our Oklahoma Panhandle supercells convecting over Hooker.
Oh wow, yeah, guys, it's about to go down. This is the make or break moment of these storms today. Oh yeah.
How have I already been
Hey,
live for an hour?
that's where I got stuck in mud.
It is. I was literally thinking that. That's like right. Like you were a little bit south of there, right?
No, I was pretty far down. I was pretty far to the west of there.
Oh.
I was more near Boise City,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
south of Keys. That's where I was. I hate that red route. I'm never chasing the Panhandle again, Chad. That was
This kid
terrible.
has been scarred by the Panhandle, bro.
I'm never driving
And
in
it
mud again,
busted.
bro.
And it busted. That didn't help anything.
And yeah, I there was a few tornadoes, but they were brief though.
They weren't very photogenic.
Holy crap! By the way, guys, we do have our area of concern for our Colorado tornado warning. Rotation's pretty broad, but that is heading up towards the Trinidad and El Moro area. So make sure you guys are getting into your safe spots. And also, park your cars because we do have ping pong ball size hail falling with that storm. I was stuck for 17 hours, Otter. Yeah, we were kind of cooked. Oh man, dude, chat, this could be crazy. That supercell can get going.
I know, yeah. I mean, it is quite literally
Dude,
in the quintessential perfect spot in this environment.
yeah, it is, and it's gonna even it's gonna be moving into an even better environment as it heads east.
Like if we look at our surface instability out here, guys, it is very high. Again, you've got over 4,000 joules per kilogram of surface cape. Your wind shear's very impressive. Again, you're talking 60 knots within the 0 to 6 kilometer. You've got honestly like pretty crazy SRH values. Again, you got like 500 SRH out here within the first 3 kilometers of the atmosphere. And again, if you look at the updraft Lissy tracks, it kind of tells the whole story. I mean, this is a legitimate concern here now.
Definitely, dude. Davis, look at the new scan, bro. It is just blowing up right there. Let's take a look, guys. Let's look at satellite here.
Oh my gosh, yeah, yeah. This is getting going. And again, even our supercell back in the Oklahoma Panhandle, man, that's getting more intense as well. It's already starting to take that bean shape.
Indeed, it is.
Well, we'll see what happens, but again. So, anyway.
Yep.
Yep. You can actually see some hail most likely there on the correlation coefficient just off to the west. Perhaps that's not hail, perhaps that is contamination, yeah.
Davis, I don't know how to freaking navigate the satellite on Radar Omega, bro.
Oh, I don't think you can, I don't think you can do it with, like, the... Hold on, let me see.
I gotta get a College of Duty page then.
Well, no, it's working. I can see it.
What sector are you using?
Just CONUS.
Oh, I'm so dumb, chat. Okay.
Mans is definitely looking at the Northeast Pacific.
No.
Yeah, our cells really are starting to fire there west of Anthony, though, along that boundary, so... And again, I'm quite concerned about our supercell over Hooker just because this is in such a discrete environment. It's ridiculous. And again, instability is wild out here. Like, this is our primed instability spot for today. I mean, we've got over 5,000 joules per kilogram of surface cape, so...
Wow, dude. Those storms near Anthony are... That could be... bad situation if it's able to be discrete.
And again, even on the new reflectivity scan, they continue to explode more.
Mm-hmm. So Arkansas City and Winfield, Cedar Vale, Independence, Bartlesville, you guys all need to watch out for our big wind threat for tonight. So just get ready for that. And Arkansas City has that tornado potential here in the next couple of hours. So.
Alrighty. So again, it just depends our arcs on if these are going to be discrete or if they're going to come, intermingled within our super clustery nasty storm mode. But I mean, if these can become discrete, they certainly could produce a couple of big tornadoes. Yeah.
Holy crap, our storm's taking off, dude.
And again, I'm still
Alright, let's...
watching. I'm still watching the supercell over Hooker. It's already starting to get a hail spike, actually.
Oh no, that is absurd.
So would not be shocked if they throw out a severe thunderstorm warning for that one very soon. So areas just off of the southeast of Hooker, make sure that you are prepared to move indoors and away from windows if necessary. They should not have gone to 10 sig for today because the uncertainty in storm mode and the fact that not all these storms are surface based. They also had no knowledge of the new HRRR runs producing these wild supercells before the 20Z outlook came out. So I'm going to say no, they should not have issued a 10 sig.
Do you think they might do it now if the storms look concerning enough?
Well, I don't think they're going to issue like an emergency update.
Okay. There was a new tornado warning just a second ago. Okay, they reissued the or they extended the one Pennsylvania. So make sure you guys are getting to your safe spots in Johnson Mill and Dickey's Mountain.
Yeah, areas along I-70 there again, some broad circulation just south of Dot. Nobody said it was 10 sig. We were asking whether or not it should have been. This is a 5 sig classic example.
Are they going to introduce it? That's the big question, guys.
Dun, dun, dun. The funny thing is that it's possible to get a 2% triple sig with the thing that they introduced.
That thing confused me, bro. Not gonna lie.
I don't think that they would ever really introduce that. Oh, those velocities are mesmerizing, dog. Look at that.
We're at...
Oh, never mind. It was glitched for a second, but now they fixed it.
Dang it.
Again, really some significant damaging winds, though, north of Mayfield. We're talking 75 to 80 miles an hour just above the surface level, so we'll see.
Oh, wow. Yeah, make sure you guys are getting indoors and putting... Never mind. Chat. Oh my gosh.
They did finally go ahead and severe warn. They did severe warn the Oklahoma Panhandle cell now. So Hooker and areas along Highway 412. Again, we pointed this out like half an hour ago, so you've definitely had time. Make sure you are moving indoors and away from windows immediately. This is for damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour and $half size tail. I will take the D1 call out. Again, looking from further away radars, like for example, Dodge City radar, this hail core looks ridiculous. Oh, that was a bad voice crack. This looks ridiculous. I would not be shocked to see them upgrade this to potentially baseball-sized hail.
Dude, we're in like such a good radar area. This makes me happy, dude.
I know, and it was looking like for a while that Wichita was going to be out, but nope. Do I think we'll ever get another Dixie moderate like in June 2023? Well, I'm sure we will at some point, yes.
By the way, guys, we just got a destructive severe thunderstorm warning.
There we go. I called it.
Yes, sir. Mayfield, Wellington, and Oxford. You guys got to get indoors. Park your cars under something that can be protective, because that will destroy your cars if left out in the open. And also, we got a little bit of like a hook echo kind of thing going on here, so gotta watch out for that. We do have an inflow looking area, looking on.
So again, softball-sized hail, damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. Train spotters reported baseball-sized hail. And again, hail is visible in the correlation coefficient. So very significant hail threat here, actually. If you're out here, again, you got to make sure that you are getting indoors and away from windows, preferably in the middle of your house. And again, if you're along I-35, if you're traveling in between, say, like south of Wichita, like near the Derby area and anywhere north of, say, South Haven, you've really got to get off and get indoors because, again, your windshield is not going to survive that. Look at that new reflectivity scan.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's insane. Holy crap, dude. I'm glad I didn't chase a freaking... Dude, look at the differential reflectivity. The thing is packed with hail.
Kevin just pointed this out. If you look at the terminal radar, it is picking up 80 to 85 mile per hour wind gusts with this supercell as well now. And really, the regular Wichita radar isn't too far off.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is insane.
And again, potentially some circulation even there getting going, as you pointed out earlier, just south of Mayfield. I mean, this is, again, an all-hazard supercell right now, guys.
Yeah, it is. Holy crap. Dude, look at that freaking hail core, bro. That's insane. Yeah, you guys gotta get indoors. Make sure you guys are staying away from windows. If you are, again, like David said, if you're on I-35 between Wellington and Belle Plaine, you guys gotta get off at the nearest exit and take cover, because this will destroy your windshields. Plus, the insane winds that are being packed with this thing. You guys gotta really take this seriously. And we could have a potential tornado drop from this. We just gotta watch.
Yeah, I think that this would probably have to undergo like a little baby cell merger as it passes through Wellington to produce, but it's not impossible. SRM and PA Storm Tracker still on this thing. SRM has a freaking crazy view of this.
I wish I could use footage, bro.
I'm sure he wouldn't care, bro. I thought he said we could all use it.
I don't think. I thought he just said that. He messaged you and Levi.
Well, no, he told Vincent that he could as well.
Oh, did he? Oh. I don't know. I don't think he knows who I am.
I could probably ask him
Actually,
if he wanted me to.
if you want, I don't care. I don't need it.
Oh boy, there it is. What we were just talking about. Look at that little cell merger.
Oh my gosh!
As
no.
this passes through Wellington.
Oh no. Yeah, Wellington, get ready. Just have your safety preparation plan in place, just in case this.
And I'm still kind of concerned about our cluster thunder showers over Anthony. Again, they interacted with that boundary. It may take them a while to convect further, but I think it could happen. Going back over to the Oklahoma Panhandle, again, this supercell is still growing, and there's a little cell merger here. We'll see if that intensifies things. I would not be shocked to see this go tornado warned in, say, an hour or so, just based off this trend.
Definitely. And we got some showers going up just north of it, so we got our other storm starting to convect with this. So you see we got some blips up right near Liberal, just north of Hooker.
And again, circulation continuing to stay broad but intense there southeast of Mayfield.
Yep, and we got those Anthony storms, dude.
Oh, this is like wow, look at that.
Everything's going wrong right now.
The blip is convecting further. It's about to undergo a cell merger.
I hope this is destructive. Oh, that is not a good looking sign, guys. So basically what we're talking about, we got this small cell that is just firing, and it's going to go right into the storm. But what this is going to do, it could possibly nudge our rotation into wrapping it really tightly. So if that does happen, we could see a pretty concerning rotation and start to pop up on the storm.
And again, if you look at SRM's view, he literally has an apocalyptic feed right now. Like, it looks like the end of the world behind those rain curtains.
Wow. That's insane. That is insane.
Hail core starting to become less prominent, but still noteworthy. Dude, you can see the inflow on correlation coefficient. I don't like this.
Oh my gosh, you can.
I really think that this is going to go Torwarn pretty shortly.
Inflow feels so cool in real life, dude.
I cannot wait to go chasing next year, bro. We're going chasing next year.
Are you chasing tomorrow, dude?
I don't think so. And our supercell that interacted with the boundary near Anthony is starting to broadly rotate. So.
Oh my gosh. And it's literally latched onto those boundaries, dude. Guys, everything's going wrong right now. Not gonna lie. Luckily, our rotation still looks broad on the Wellington storm. Nothing too noteworthy. But that merger is still cooking right now. Yo, what's up? Storm Chaser 575. Thank you. No, my barber chopped me, bro. I asked for a half inch off the top. She just left me with the half inch, dude. Chopped off all my hair, bro. Yeah, our hooker storm's starting to have some broad rotation on it, so.
Weather intensity
I'm
score is only at
surprised.
130. 130 is pretty high. I mean, anything over 100, that's what Ryan goes live for, so 130 is pretty high. Yeah, look at these cell mergers, dude. I mean, this is going to swallow these up, and I really think that this is going to produce them, to be honest.
Yeah, it's looking like it, unfortunately. So Wellington, Oxford, and Winfield. You guys gotta watch out for that here in the near future, because if this does produce, it'll could be a pretty strong tornado. Has that definitely has the possibility. Hopefully nothing happens with it, but it is looking more and more likely. They just literally jinxed it, bro, with those summer cheers. Yeah, guys, it's looking more and more concerning. Wow, guys, we had a 2.75-inch magnitude hail get reported just a moment ago, so it's
Well, that
still
was
dropping
that
from.
was what originally got this upgraded to destructive. It just
Oh,
came
was
in
it?
late.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. That was more. That was like 15 minutes ago.
I will say more than anything else right now,
Oh,
this merger is kind of destroying this storm's inflow, so
it indeed is.
we'll see. I mean, the rotation is probably going to struggle to develop further if that continues.
Well, guys, we got our first cloud to ground lightning strike with our Anthony storm. She's intensifying.
I'm still blown away by how fast that hooker storm convected.
I am too, bro. That thing was just up and going.
Literally 18 minutes ago, that was a thunder shower, and now it's a huge hailstorm.
That That's literally a supercell, bro. Wow, Bryce Shelton just captured the most insane time lapse. Yeah, the whole base is rotating on that Wellington storm.
This is a gnarly supercell. It is very interesting. Again, you've got your enhanced damaging wind pocket here just north of your actual area of inflow. You've got the extreme hail. Again, at this point, the hail threat is mostly diminished, but I mean, you've still got that very broad, but it does exist, area of circulation southwest of Wellington.
Yeah, but looks like the merger is kind of, like you said, cutting off its inflow, so
Yeah.
hopefully it continues like that.
What's up,
Dude,
Vincent?
do you know what this kind of looks like?
What's that?
The Mayfield cell, like no
All right,
joke, like
Jill. Chill, Jesse.
I'm just, yeah. All right,
Vincent.
never mind.
Vincent wants to
It
call.
looks. Oh yeah, let's throw him in the call.
Let's throw him in.
Yeet.
Here, let me add him. There we go. Don't ask what that was, please. Are they gonna join? Is they gonna join?
No.
There we go.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Alright, I'm going live if that's alright with you guys.
No, you can't go
No.
live.
What do we even have going on? Cause, like, I
Low-key, everything's going. Not looking like it's looking good severe weather-wise, but it's looking bad. Like tornado, like
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
I
see.
get it. Yeah,
We
yeah.
can see some tornadoes that are pretty disgusting.
So, is it,
with
like,
this.
is it just me or is, like, the wind? Is it still supposed to play out, like, exactly how the moderate description says? Because the tornado watch only has gusts up to 75, or is that not the main watch for wind?
Well, the tornado
The
watch
main watch.
was the tornado watch was issued like several hours ago. So that's, I mean, it's not
Oh,
necessarily that the wind threat's going to be like super concentrated over one area, but it's going to be like widespread high gusts up to 70, 80 miles an hour.
yeah, because the moderate description has 100, so
Well, it says
we'll see.
70 to 100, so.
Yeah.
Why do I hear myself on a TV?
Yeah, why do I hear?
Yeah, I low-key had the stream play on the TV. But
It's Aura.
it is Lord. Alright, I'm gonna go live. But yeah.
What? Sigma?
Have we had any destructives for wind?
No.
Yeah, no.
No, don't. Please don't, Mr. Twister.
I think, oh. Yeah, PA Storm Trackers decided to drop towards the Anthony, so they definitely think that's going to be the storm of the day, it looks like.
It's
They
not.
saw that thing go up.
I don't know, man. I mean, like it's not like super, uh, in a super discreet environment. I feel like
No, it's not. That, yeah. That could ruin it, so.
I'm still interested in our cell in the Oklahoma Panhandle near Hooker, but it looks to be mainly a big time hail dropper.
Definitely. So it looks like Tornado Pagey, Kelton Henderson, and PA Storm Trackers have dropped to our Anthony storm. Wait, never mind. Tornado Pagey's not with Kelton? What?
Our supercell just west of Harper did just undergo multiple cell mergers, so we'll see what that does. But I think for right now, this is probably going to remain untornadic for quite a while. It's still got a ways to go structure-wise.
Dang, that boundary's still zooming stuff. Holy crap, never mind.
By the way, we do have a considerable flash flood warning for Wichita. Again, overnight there was a huge MCS that brought over half a foot of rain to the Wichita metro area. And this is just piled on even more. I mean, I would not be shocked if after our next round of storms we got a flash flood emergency issued.
Wow. Did you see we had a tornado warning in Maryland a couple hours ago?
Yes.
And we have a marginal. Alrighty. Fire up Freddie McKinney.
Davis, hear me out. You
Freddy's
should
not
go chase
live.
someone out.
Oh, he's not?
No.
No.
Is SRM live?
Yes.
So it's PA. Just chasing
Yeah,
someone.
I'll probably end up using them eventually.
Our supercell just over Augusta has managed to detach from our QLCS. I will say the environment this far north isn't quite as impressive. For example, one of the things that we're going to be lacking is the extreme, like, exceptional instability that we have further south. Now, it's still very impressive. If we take a look at Surfacecape, we've got... Oh, I suppose it's actually not very impressive. That's right, because our... yeah, never mind. So, low instability will probably prevent that little boy there from developing further, and it's also still working on becoming discrete. I am honestly still watching our supercell west of Harper. Again, we watched it undergo a couple of cell mergers, and it could very well potentially, it could try to do the thingy thing, so we'll see.
It could merge with the Anthony storm too. I don't know if it will, but never mind.
I mean, so far we've just been watching a huge rain bag.
Yep.
Again, it does go to show that the environment is impressive out here, just based off the fact that the second that we had a discrete supercell, it produced a large cone tornado. Like, that is kind of a testimony to how intense the overall environment is. Again, it all comes down to storm mode and the boundary production. But
Yeah, that boundary. I was looking at a radar loop, and it looks like that boundary definitely aided the tornado that got dropped.
Was it strong?
no.
See, it looked like a large cone, but I
Well,
wouldn't.
but it was only on the ground for like 5 seconds.
Oh, was it? Okay. Okay. Um. Yeah.
At this point, probably top fan, but that's not what it looked like 2 hours ago. So
All right, we are live. Welcome back to another severe weather coverage live stream. We do have a moderate risk of severe weather in effect for portions of the Central Plains today. We're going to be joined by Davis Does Weather and Jesse Tarkelson.
Jesse Tarkelson.
That's me.
And yeah, I mean, we got a lot of bad weather to talk about today. So today's mainly going to be a wind threat, but we also do have the chance to see a few tornadoes. A couple could certainly be strong. I mean, I really wouldn't rule out a strong tornado or two tonight. Um, so yeah. Yeah, this one near Belle Plaine and Wellington is currently producing likely up to softball size hail, which has now been downgraded to lime size hail, of course, as soon as we go live. That's cool.
Your cat likes my stream. Thank you. Thank you for that. We are going to again just continue to watch if these supercells manage to. Oh, what? I got the most amazing glitch. How did I do that? Oh, that is actually amazing. I may just keep it like that.
What happened?
I turned on Cape and then I turned it off to look at radar, and they're both up, so I can see this supercells.
That's
I can
sick.
see like the reflectivity over the Cape.
That's awesome.
How the heck did that
Dude.
happen, dude?
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
crazy.
how I did that, but that is awesome.
That's really cool.
Are you reading?
No, I don't think so.
Again, we're watching as this little cluster of supercells continues. But it looks like our inflow is increasing on our El Dorado storm, so we'll watch to see if that tries to rotate. But that storm's currently producing up to lime size hail as well as 60 mile per hour winds. Or 70 mile an hour winds, excuse me. We did get south of I-35, I believe this is an old report. Yeah, this is about a half hour ago. We did have 80 mile per hour winds estimated by train spotters, so this storm has a history of producing destructive winds
That
here.
you realize that was from this morning, right?
Was?
It says 4:30. Oh wait, no, you're right. Never mind. I was looking at the wrong thing. My bad.
All good.
I
So
thought.
again, make sure you don't let your guard down with that storm.
Oh my goodness, I still don't know how I got the cape glitch. How did I do that?
Has that ever happened to you?
I know. Like, well, it'll happen with like something stupid with like 0 to 3 SRH, but
We did get a new severe thunderstorm warning here. This is including Harper, Norwich, Attica, and portions of Highway 42 out here in portions of southern Kansas. This is going to be for quarter size around 60 mile per hour winds. To make sure we're getting indoors and away from windows.
yeah, I don't know, guys. I think we're
I'll set up
probably.
the environment.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go.
But with today's environment, The better environment's going to be the farther south you go. So as these storms continue moving south, we'll most likely see them continue to grow upscale here over the next couple of hours.
The only problem with that is if you look at say 8th Triple R on the 22Z and all the paths he runs, really it has convection that far south, but it is mainly clustery, like semi-discrete, like just swampy mess. And then
Um,
by the time that it would possibly become discrete, it intersects our large QLCS.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that said QLCS looks like it could be beginning to develop now. We've got those thunderstorms convecting over Salina, Kansas, and then you'll notice a few pop-up showers over La Crosse. They are likely going to eventually end up becoming the beginning of our large overnight QLCS, the one that we're expecting to bring those significant damaging wind gusts. And a lot of people have been calling this a possible derecho. I don't see it, but
yeah.
huge cell merger just popped up with our storm near Wellington along I-35. We'll see how that progresses.
Or you called the moderate risk.
Did I?
Yeah, you were like, I could see Tuesday going moderate.
I don't even remember saying that. I
So,
might have, though.
uh,
Um. Yeah. Dude, if storm mode was better today could have been a real. It would have been an insane tornado outbreak, dude.
General
um,
Hospital, Storm 575, Otter, what's up, Mr. Twister?
by the way, again, tomorrow's threat mainly looks to be a huge damaging wind event at this point. I would not be shocked to see some damaging winds 60 to 70 miles an hour across portions of the Ohio Valley. Even then, like, it's not like something incredible. Like, again, I said that maybe they should shift the enhanced risk a little bit further southeast. I definitely don't see like any sort of significant tornado threat tomorrow. I mean, for one, we're not going to have like hardly any discrete storms. I suppose a few maybe in portions of central Indiana, but like again, whenever you go that far north, your kinematics probably don't look that great. Let me check. Yeah, 0 to 6 shear only at 30 knots. So I mean, it's not impossible that we see a brief tornado tomorrow, but originally, I mean, this was looking like a significant tornado threat, especially for like northeast Illinois. And again, now that northeast Illinois mode looks too like semi-discrete clustery, the environment's still decent out there, but the overall storm mode doesn't impress me too much. But potentially around the noon hour, I wouldn't be shocked to see a brief, strong tornado near Chicago. But outside of that, the significant tornado threat is highly, highly limited tomorrow.
Yeah.
And again, originally this looked like it could have been a full-scale tornado outbreak.
I'm very excited for Thursday's risk, Otter. I don't know how, but I'm actually included in the slight risk. Remedy is actually getting some pretty intense winds there. They are going into the Wellington storm here. So this is currently warned for 60 mile per hour winds. Uh, I mean, I definitely would not be surprised if this storm was producing 60 to 70 mile an hour winds, but definitely a dangerous storm. They do not want to mess around with. So make sure we're getting again into a substantial shelter, like just a home or whatever. But make sure you are staying away from windows.
Um, I would also like to note that our supercell just west of Harper, again, if this undergoes a couple more cell mergers, I would not be shocked to see this rotate. I mean, this is, again, obviously a very slow-moving supercell, and there's a chance that it's completely dead at this point, but if it continues on the track that it has been, this could be a downtown Wichita problem, which, again, we've still got a ton of customers in Wichita without power after last night's large QLCS and also just after the thunderstorms that we've had just now. We also have, again, areas that have already received extreme wind damage. We've got The main thing will be the trees are going to be a lot easier to snap. They're already very moist, so those damaging winds, even just up to 60, 70 miles an hour could cause like widespread tree damage. It could be pretty gnarly here, so
Yeah. Your cat typed "ew" on your iPad. So our QLCS is developing near Selena.
yes, these little thunderstorms that are convecting.
Oh, okay.
And then again, you'll notice they're starting to convect a little bit further west as well, near La Crosse. I think that eventually this is going to be what develops into our large QLCS. Again, this is looking like it could potentially be a serial mode of storms where we don't just have one area that receives significant damaging winds. It could be multiple separate bow echoes embedded in our line. Also worth noting, again, HRRR at this point kind of favors our supercells in the Oklahoma Panhandle that we currently have now. These are going to move off to the east-southeast and potentially rotate and try to produce a couple of tornadoes over time. And our supercell in the Oklahoma Panhandle, just southeast of Hooker, is already actually rotating. So we'll watch for that. I would not be shocked if they gave that a tornado warning, especially because radar coverage isn't great out here, so we kind of just have to play it safe. But make sure that you are prepared to seek shelter if you're out there north of Perryton, Texas.
Yeah, for sure.
I just realized the light splits right down the middle of my face. That's fun. Right out here, so we kind of just have to play it safe. So anyway, again, gonna just continue to watch these supercells in southern Kansas to drop some big hail, some damaging wind gusts. I don't see, in the short term at least, a very significant tornado threat with any of these. Again, potentially our QLCS trying to develop up towards Salina. I really believe that that's what's going on here, but we'll see.
Definitely.
And again, our supercell in the Oklahoma Panhandle continuing to rotate as it crosses Highway 412. So if you're north of Perryton, Texas, I would be ready for a potential tornado warning here on this cell.
I know the Discord audio is very loud on my end for my stream, so if you guys just let me know if you guys can hear me better or if the audio is a little bit quieter.
We can hear you fine. If you need if we're too loud on your stream, I would just go into OBS and turn your desktop audio down.
Yeah, I did that. I just don't know how much I should turn it down.
Just turn on your audio every once in a while and just check. What's up, Aiden? Welcome to the stream.
Another cell merger here popping out across our Wellington storm. We'll see if that tries to intensify this. Again, I am struggling to see how any of these are going to produce tornadoes in a mode this clustery. Again, the HRRR had these cells being semi-discrete. That's really not what's happening at all. I would like to note our supercell northwest of Harper that we've been harping on, no pun intended, is continuing to develop more rotation. So if you are north of Harper, Kansas, again, obviously you guys just had that large cone tornado, an hour ago. I would be ready to seek shelter. I mean, the rotation really does look somewhat impressive here. It's partially contaminated, but very clear area of inflow, so we'll watch it. What's my target for today?
Yeah, that's probably...
My target would probably be somewhere near... I mean, it's kind of hard to say since the event's already started, but I think before I probably would have picked somewhere close to the Kansas-Oklahoma state line, somewhere like Arkansas City.
Is it just me, or do I feel like the moderate risk is a little bit farther to the west than it should be?
Well, last night it was way farther. Like it was ridiculously far west. Like it went to the Kansas Colorado state line,
Yeah.
and it didn't go any further east than
That's
like St.
crazy.
John.
Mm.
I mean, it was way like I thought that was
Yeah,
ridiculous. That's why I was kind of shocked.
that Harper storm is honestly going to be the only storm as of right now that's going to pose a tornado potential, in my opinion, because that's just a mess anywhere else with these storms.
Um, I would like to note our NATO cast outlook for today. Or excuse me, not for today, for tomorrow, does have a small 10% tornado probability up in portions of central and southern Michigan, which I suppose if our QLCS can break off into multiple separate supercells that become discrete, I wouldn't rule out a couple of tornadoes that far north, but I. Again, I really think that any sort of significant tornado threat would be localized to like the Chicago suburbs. So we'll see if there is another little 10% that pops up there at the next update. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure you would have went to Kumari, New Mexico. Again, rotation continuing to intensify here with our cell north of Harper. Still broad, but it's noteworthy. Alright, see you, Storm Chaser 575. Thank you. Again, some very significant rotation, it looks like, developing with our supercell southeast of Hooker, Oklahoma. As this moves north of Perryton, I really do think that we have to look out for at least a brief tornado throughout this, and again, very electrified thunderstorm, potentially a sign of intensification there. So we'll see what that tries to do. But as of right now, again, rotation looks somewhat intense as of the last velocity scan. So if you are out here north of Perryton, Texas, along Highway 412 near Bryan's Corner or Balco, I would be ready to seek shelter because I really think a tornado warning is going to come out for that pretty shortly here.
Yeah, it looks like we already have some chasers bailing towards that storm.
Yeah.
I wish radar coverage was better, but I really don't see how we're gonna get any good radar coverage for this storm over the next like half hour at least.
Yeah, and that was the problem with the Perryton tornado in 2023 is if we didn't have like Freddy on the ground chasing that, like we would not have known what was going on. Like the radar imagery suggested like maybe a developing tornado did not at all promote a destructive violent tornado. But
Yeah.
by the way, very interestingly, our hail core has started to shoot back up in intensity north of Highway 160, east of Wellington. Again, 74 dBz hail core at this point, likely some tennis ball, baseball sized hail there falling again. So I would not be shocked if they upgrade this to a destructive severe thunderstorm warning once more.
Yeah. Like very steep lapse rates. Isn't this the event where we had like the 120
Yes.
supercell composite soundings? Yeah.
Yep.
This is it.
I'd also like to say northwest of Harper, again, our rotation is continuing to develop further. I mean, it's still somewhat broad, but, like, again, there's nothing else to kind of say right now, so this may be what we kind of hone in on here. They did just update the severe thunderstorm warning, and surprisingly, they didn't add the tornado possible tag to it, but I would watch out for that. So they did issue a new severe thunderstorm warning for areas north of Perryton. They don't even have the tornado possible tag on this, but again,
Yeah.
very clearly, at the very least, some broad rotation over Highway 412 north of Perryton. So make sure you are getting indoors and away from windows. Ping pong ball sized hail and damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour possible there.
We did also get a news for thunderstorm warning here for Branson, Trinchera Plaza, and Abeta in Colorado. This is going to be for quarter size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So if you're including the severe thunderstorm warning, make sure we're getting indoors and away from windows. Looks like it could have some small hail falling in there. So again, make sure you are seeking shelter in interior. What am I saying? Away from windows.
Yeah, KILX does actually have some broad rotation with some of those supercells out there in Western Illinois, so I will watch that. Um, and yeah, St. Louis is picking up on it too, specifically on the southern mode here, just near Pittsfield. I wouldn't be shocked if they at least issue a special weather statement for that. So areas north of Jacksonville in Illinois, make sure that you are prepared. Going back
You can also
towards, sorry, go ahead.
you can also see the hail on CC with our Wellington storm.
Yeah. So again, I fail to see what's going to bring us any sort of tornado threat if it's not our Harper cell or our Oklahoma Panhandle storm, because at this point we are again very quickly going to be shifting over to focusing on our QLCS in central Kansas that's developing right now, because we really just don't have any discrete storms other than those two. And again, the Harper cell, it's in an okay environment, but I still think it's one where it would need to interact with the boundary or undergo several mergers or something to intensify thus far, or to intensify any further, because we've only got 1,500 instability out here. You go back over to the Texas Panhandle, sure, you've got 4,000 instability, but the problem in the Texas Panhandle is that we don't have any shear. Or I suppose we actually do have some pretty decent shear. Let's check. Let's check SRH. Is that a problem here? No. It's hard to see why this cell. I mean, again, I really think this should be Tor Warren, but I'm kind of surprised it's not even rotating more than it already is along Highway 412 there. So we'll watch that. But again, if you are north of Perryton, I would be ready to seek shelter. South Dakota border has a few cells of interest. I suppose, yeah. Definitely some big time hail there.
We have another merger coming out on the south side with our storm here near Wellington, so we'll see if that finally does allow the storm to clear out its inflow, but really remains non-tornadic for the most part as of right now. Pretty much watching out for a very large hail threat and obviously the damaging wind threat. As you can see, storm radar media just above me getting smacked by that very, very heavy rain and strong winds.
No, Nightbot's cooked. How long ago did Jesse leave?
I don't even know. I never noticed.
I was thinking I hadn't heard him for a while, and then I look.
Yeah.
This customized online fair.
But rotation continues north of Harper, Kansas, so we'll continue to watch as that storm progresses, but these are very slow moving, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
So, again, mainly watching Harper, and then a couple more little baby cells firing along our OFBs on the Oklahoma-Kansas state line, and then the Oklahoma Panhandle cell that is going to be moving north of Perryton. I'm really kind of shocked that they don't have at least the tornado possible tag out for that. Apparently this does have public reported ping pong ball sized hail associated with it as well along Highway 412, so if you are north of Perryton, make sure you are getting indoors and away from windows.
We just got a huge super thunderstorm warning here, including St. Francis, Bird City, Atwood, Goodland, Benkelman, and Ray. These are all towns and cities in Nebraska, Colorado, and Kansas. Is that an outflow boundary, or is that a giant gust front?
You're looking. Yeah.
Okay. It looks like a pretty strong line of storms approaching from the west here, so make sure getting indoors and away from windows.
So, going back over to our cell north of Harper, again, continuing to lose any resemblance of a tornadic supercellular structure. Again, at this point, maybe our North Perryton cell would be something to watch. Again, looks to still be broadly rotating, even with a whole heck of a lot of bad radar coverage. We can still kind of note that there. And then our QLCS continuing to develop in central Kansas. I will say this is highly reminiscent of the North Texas false alarm derecho that we had a few days ago.
Yeah.
Where we just don't have the environment playing out like we thought it would.
Did these storms like wipe out the environment, or is that not really going to happen?
Well, I mean, it's not going to be enough to the point where the QLCS just like completely dies, if that's what you're asking. There's still going to be more than enough instability. Um, but yeah, I mean, so far we're just kind of waiting. Um, again, not a lot else to say though, and that could be considered a good thing, I suppose. Starting to get cloudy in Claremore.
We're going to morning here for Manchester, our Barberville, and Oneida in Kentucky here for 60-mile-per-hour winds and Penny-sized hail.
So again, I mean, there's not a lot else to say other than what we've been saying over and over again. But I think if we don't start to see things pick up, I may honestly end stream. And I'm going to say this right now: the chance that I come back for the QLCS later tonight is honestly pretty low. I'm just going to be quite frank with you guys here. It looks to be downtrending quite a bit, just based off of projected model runs. Um, are again, we're just watching the supercells at this point that we currently have that are trying to produce, but they're just failing. I wouldn't be shocked still to see some isolated destructive gusts of 70 to 80 miles an hour across northern Oklahoma tonight. And again, anybody that's saying there's derecho potential, it's not. It is wiped out the window at this point. It really wasn't that high to begin with, but yeah, I mean, it's probably a 5% chance that this gets classified as a derecho.
Davis, look at our Harper storm. It's starting to wrap up. It's got a pretty nice hook echo on
I
it.
noticed that. I don't know if that's like a legitimate hook though, or I suppose it kind of has to be, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's been there for a few scans, so if you oh, TRG did. Sick, Kevin.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
was
it's
the
definitely
tornado
possible though.
yesterday near Wellfleet, Nebraska. Just unreal.
Chat, what is that noise? What is going on? I don't know what that noise is, chat. Yeah, our Oklahoma storm's looking pretty decent too. It definitely has a hook. It's rotating, so.
I really am kind of shocked that they don't at least have the Tor possible tag on the Barrington Storm, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, they don't.
definitely.
I mean, I would have Tor warned that like half an hour ago. I'm assuming they're going to soon, just based off of the fact that rotation is becoming more clear now that we're getting closer to. I suppose we're really not even getting closer to the radar, but it's just becoming more evident. I don't know what else. Like, I suppose they're waiting for any sort of surface confirmation to pull the Tor warning for this. I don't know though. Again, if you're north of Perryton, I'd be ready to seek
I
shelter.
mean, we have like a million storm chasers on that storm. No, you're good, Mr. Twister. I appreciate it. If you can't, that's totally fine. Appreciate it though. Chat, we're one like away from 20. Let's get there.
Oh, nice. Alright, they did just reissue that Super Thunder morning here for Bill Plain, Wellington, Oxford, Winfield, Arkansas City, and South Haven. This is a still a considerable Super Thunder warning for Lime-sized hill 60-mile-per-hour winds. They also have kept the tornado possible deck, so pretty much the same exact warning that we had moments ago here. But Again, if you're out ahead of the storm, what you can expect is some very heavy rain, some frequent lightning, gusty winds, and some pretty large hail. So you can actually get a view of what that's going to look like from Storm Remedia's feed just above my head there. So we'll continue to watch as this moves off to the east, but I really don't see this having too much of a tornado threat in the near future.
By the way, our QLCS is continuing to develop further here in central Kansas again. Watching things stretch all the way from La Crosse back over to Abilene. I would not be shocked to see some severe warnings start to come out for this soon. Again, this is what is eventually going to bring us our overnight significant damaging wind threat, most likely, if there is. At this point, again, it's kind of hard to say. I'm still ready to watch this tour warning come out for the Perryton cell, because, again, I mean, you've got, like, extremely tight rotation at this point. I don't know what else they're looking for. I would not be shocked if there is a tornado on the ground with this at this point. I mean, it is getting quite concerning that they haven't tour warned this yet.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
There's like
yeah.
a million storm
What are
spotter.
they doing,
Chad
bro?
Casey's on it. Okay,
I
hold
guess
up.
I shouldn't be saying what are they doing, but I would really want to warn that right now.
Yeah, like, I don't understand.
Okay, so
I don't understand why we don't have a tour warning, or at least even the tour possible tag out for it.
Davis, this is what the storm's looking like. Hold up, I'm sending a link to Discord.
They did actually issue a mesoscale
what the storm's
discussion for
looking
this,
like.
though. They issued a mesoscale for this one storm here in the Texas Panhandle. They mentioned intensification of an ongoing supercell is possible with an increasing risk of a supercellular tornado. Again, I'm going to try and send in this report to the National Weather Service of literally just a radar screenshot. I mean, they've got to be looking at it, but I just don't understand why we don't at least have a
Davis,
tour possible tag.
look at the link I said. There's no wall cloud on it yet.
Well, they don't have to have a
Look at
wall
the link I
cloud to
sent
issue a
you,
tour
this,
warning, though.
That valid.
Yeah, it's rotating pretty good right now. It's definitely doing something. I mean, it's been, if anything, it's
Definitely
gotten,
has some mid-level rotation on it. So
if anything, it's gotten, the rotation's gotten stronger, so, let's see.
yeah.
I just realized
We're
this is Amarillo's warning zone, but it was Albuquerque that issued it. Is Amarillo, like, short-staffed or something? Is that...
possibly. I'm sure that there's someone
Possibly.
talking about why they're not issuing the warning, because, I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Wow, look at that hood gecko.
Yeah, this.
I wonder what that looks like
This
close.
passes tornado warning criteria by a long shot.
Hey, Davis, a viewer in my stream wants me to ask you what you think about Joplin.
Well, what about it?
I don't know. He just wants
Like the
what's it
town,
looking
like, for the next
for him.
couple days, or, like, the actual tornado?
No, like this threat today, just for the fact.
Oh, Joplin's mainly going to be looking out for some damaging winds. I'd say probably 60 to 70 miles an hour, and it would be a late nighttime thing. Like, we're talking, like, 1, 2 a.m., so be on the lookout. Make sure multiplays receive alerts. Sorry, I thought he was just, like, asking me about the tornado.
It must be weird living in such, like, a historical city.
Yeah. Yes, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why this doesn't, like... is that it? No, it's not a debris signature, but, like... I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know what it takes for them to warn that. That doesn't fly.
Kevin, there is a potential for a tornado threat, but it's very unlikely. So it's mainly going to be a wind, damaging wind threat.
Yeah.
But I mean, HRRR showing a prefrontal going through your area. It looks like some sort of discrete cell before the actual line. So
I'd say probably the biggest
David.
tornadoes around now.
What's up?
Oh, go ahead.
Wait, what did you say, Mr. Storm?
I was just saying the biggest tornado threat is probably around now.
Well, I don't really think we're gonna
Yeah.
have much of a
There's
tornado threat tonight. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, outside of this
think
Texas Panhandle supercell, I don't like the HRRR is like no
I don't think we are either.
has nothing at this point. And again, the cells that it did have, the problem was they were not discrete, and also some of them were elevated. But I think the main thing was lack of discreteness. I I
Yeah.
still don't understand why we don't at least have a tour possible tag, but
Jeez, this storm is cranking. Mr. Storm, he says people are weird there in Joplin.
People are weird there.
that is well, yes, it's slightly
No,
contaminated
weird.
rotation, but it is very clearly rotating.
It's there. It's been there for multiple
you're in
stints
gray,
too.
If you're in Gray, Oklahoma, or south of there, north of Perry, Texas, make sure getting indoors and away from windows, but be prepared to take shelter. And honestly, I guess it's not the worst thing if I said take shelter, because I mean,
I don't think
definitely
it's
looks
necessary yet. Well, I mean, I would just wait for them to issue the tour warning because they're surely gonna do it.
it's the only storm in the area.
Yeah, was that
anyways.
Luke?
Like, I don't understand.
Into the stream with-
Is it short staffed? Because is that why they issued the? That's why Albuquerque issued the warning, I guess. And I don't know why that would impact
they
it not
need-
being a tour warning, but
Or do they need surface observations because of how bad radar is? I don't know what it is that's keeping them from warning it.
I guess maybe
Well, they
just
have plenty.
surface
There's like a million
observation.
chasers.
I think even if they didn't have surface observation, they'd still
Well, there's
put
like
the
a
tour
million
possible tag on
chasers
it
on
though.
it.
Yeah, I mean that too. I don't know why they're not even doing that.
Yeah, we have at least 20 chasers on this if you look at spotter dots.
Dang. I mean, this is the storm to be on as far as the tornado threat.
So we definitely have surface observation.
NWS Amarillo has been posting on X all day, nothing about short staffing. Yeah, that is weird then. I mean,
There's no reason why. I mean, I really don't know.
I guess yeah, I mean it's just a lack of surface observations, but I don't. They've
I
certainly
mean, that's the
issued.
only answer I have.
They've definitely issued tour warnings in the past for less than this, so
Yeah. But if you're just joining us for watching, really all of our little clusters of supercells out here in the portions of southwestern Kansas, or really south central Kansas, as well as this rotating supercell in the Oklahoma Panhandle. It's trying to rotate hard here, but we haven't seen a tornado warning from the National Weather Service for this thing yet, so we'll continue to watch as it progresses to the southeast, and then we're also watching the development of our QLCS up into portions of central Kansas, south of Salina. So
look
pretty
at
much
look at
all
the
that
new
we're,
new velocity scan. I mean, it's obviously it's contaminated, but you
yeah.
Oh, that was a
It definitely has
beautiful
some strong
CG.
little rotation.
What is it? What is this?
I don't know
What are we
why
looking at
they
there?
can't warn.
Alright, I'm restarting our Omega, dude. My PC's being so slow, chat.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah. Gosh. This is our view of our storm
Jack,
here from
dude,
Austin,
my PC's
Kansas.
dying. Holy crap. Sorry for my stream lag, you guys. My PC is genuinely dying right now, guys.
well, it's not a there's not a glitch where they can't issue warnings.
Is it just an Omega thing? Have you checked any other?
You know what? It could be. Let's see.
News crews this morning here. This is going to be going out for The southwest Lubbock suburb here, also including Wolfworth and Rebsville, Texas. This is going to be for 40 to and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So, if you are in the way of the storm or included in that warning, make sure getting indoors and away from windows.
Thank you, Pete. Appreciate that from you. Chat, Pete's such a good moderator. Holy crap.
We may have a developing wall cloud.
Yeah.
What? There's literally a no. What is that? What is that, chat? Hold on. What is that? Is that
What are you looking at?
on Nathan Moore's feed? There was literally like.
Yeah, this storm's like the only thing that has a tornado could.
I mean, we definitely got a developing wall cloud there, if nothing else. But it really looks like we had like a land spout ongoing or something.
Yeah, that is a wall cloud. If I, oh my gosh, yeah.
Like what is that? What is that Nathan Moore has at the surface? I guess it's just.
You see
Oh,
that
there you go. There's that funnel. Yeah, there's now a funnel cloud with this.
We have a funnel cloud.
Well,
They-
yeah,
they
well,
have to
it is safe to say that it is safe to say that Perryton, Darosette, and Follette, you guys need to get to your safe spots. If you're on Highway
Yeah.
412,
Well,
they might not issue it over there, but
They
The
have
if
to
you're
lawsuits have
reissue.
anywhere
gotten
near the
far more
cells,
intense
make
as
sure you guys
well.
are getting to your safe spot.
They have to reissue the
Yeah,
severe
and
warning
Perryton.
anyways, so. Gosh, dude, they need to warn.
Is that a funnel? I can't open his stream.
It's
The
gone
PC
now.
guy. No. Pete,
You can
is my
still see
streaming
the
lag
rain
at all?
cones.
That does not even like. It looks like a land spout. It really does.
It does, yeah. But look at that wall cloud, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why we're not. There's not a lot else
Yeah,
to say,
it's
guys.
honestly-
By the way, Davis, there is a blip going up near Follette. So
Going up near where?
could be the Follette just to the east of Perryton.
It's not gonna impact the storm though.
No, yeah, I know. I'm just saying we might start to see more.
Oh,
convection.
yeah. Sorry, I didn't know what you meant.
No, you're good, you're good. Because
Well, we definitely at least had like a brief funnel cloud there, so.
Oh, and our storm near Arkansas City and Winfield is currently destructive now
Yep.
for baseball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So if you're in this area, please make sure you are getting indoors and especially away from windows. Again, this is your current feed from Storm Runner Media. Look how green that storm is, guys. Everything in there is hail. I mean, you're talking hail to baseball size in here. So, a big time storm with right where that CG struck.
Kevin says it's mid-level rotation and no chasers visually confirmed anything is representative of this being tornadic towards the surface. It literally has a wall cloud and it had a funnel. I don't know what else like they want from the surface other than it to be on the ground. So.
Yeah.
What was it like for sure a funnel though?
Yes, yeah.
I can.
It was, yeah. Something.
And look at that wall cloud. Oh my goodness, that structure.
Bro, look at velocities.
Well, that's, I mean, heavily contaminated, so I wouldn't take the strength of them for.
And it's mid level because we're looking really high up into the storm.
Well, the news
pretty
scan.
high up, not really.
Like over Twitch Hill.
Well, that's not. I mean, don't pay attention to the strength of it because that's just like contaminated, and then it's
I'm
also.
talking about how tight it is.
Yeah.
Davis, was that the funnel you were talking about?
NWS Norman issued a severe thunderstorm warning on behalf of Lubbock a while ago. Yeah, it sounds like something's going on in both Amarillo and Lubbock. They literally just updated the severe warning, and they still don't even have the tour possible tag on it.
Oh my gosh, dude. Well, they have to reissue the warning, so they better at least put on the tornado possible tag, but this deserves a warning.
Some broad circulation there northwest of Arkansas City, most likely. Again, this does have the tour possible tag on it, and it is a destructive severe thunderstorm warning for baseball-sized hail. So make sure I'm moving indoors and away from windows. Dude, look at that structure, though. That brings a tear to the eye.
It really does.
That,
On
oh
SRM.
my goodness. Well, I was looking at Nathan Moore.
Oh. Yeah,
Today,
very
so welcome
green.
to the stream. I hope your day's going good. Hold up, let me.
Yeah, look at
Oh.
SRMs.
Oh, did you see that lightning strike? Oh, insane. That is just a green mess. That's all hail.
Yeah.
It's cut off on my stream. Here, let me move it for you guys.
Dude, if nothing else, this will go down as Texas Panhandle structure of July or June, whatever month it is.
Didn't we have some in the beginning of the year though?
Nothing like this in the Texas Panhandle.
Really?
Well,
Like the Lubbock Fest? Or I guess that was May.
No, that was June, but I don't really consider that Panhandle. I consider Panhandle where it starts to get where the Red River is.
Like north of Amarillo.
Yeah, well, like north of you see where like the Red River starts, like the Texas-Oklahoma state line.
Yeah.
I consider anywhere north of there the Panhandle.
I see.
They did just update the severe thunderstorm warning east of Lubbock. This is now warned for lime-sized hail, so if you're in this area, make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows south of Floyd Day.
Yeah, my gosh, needs Aaron G-Jack, bro. It's an absolute UFO.
Exactly.
So again, destructive severe thunderstorm warning air for Arkansas City, Winfield, and Oxford, Kansas. Big time hail up to baseball size as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds expected. So again, this is the view of it. Once pan the camera, we'll be able to see it better. Oh, it's the hail dense. That car. Yeah, there it is. Wow.
Yeah, it's always bothered my OCD. The Oklahoma Panhandle and the Texas Panhandle, the western edge, it doesn't line up.
Oh yeah, it's annoying.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it looks like the supercell had like a merger explode inside of it if you look at the reflectivity, and that's kind of cutting off its inflow. So at this point, it's probably not going to have any sort of major tornado threat with it. But at one point, we definitely had a funnel cloud, and we had a wall cloud for quite a long time.
Apparently enough for them to warn it.
Or at least, like, it's not even the fact that they didn't warn it. They didn't even put the tour possible tag on. That's what shocked me.
Yeah.
But National Weather Service knows best, so. Anyway.
A huge vertically integrated liquid signature. Northwest of Arkansas City, Kansas. North to south. This is about 15 miles, 14 miles wide, so big time swath of likely tennis ball to baseball size hail falling with this storm. I'll have to go soon for dinner. But it really looks like we're not gonna see much other than what we have going on right now. And then obviously our QLCS that's still trying to develop. Um, but we're hoping that it's probably not going to perform, as it could have been, because it definitely could have been worse than what it looks like it's gonna be like. But
There's a good chance that the Harper tornado is the only thing that we see today in the tornadic department. I mean, again, none of these cells are anywhere near being discrete in Kansas and Oklahoma, and then the Texas Panhandle cell struggled with, partially due to the fact that it's somewhat elevated, but also just, I think, a lack of mergers did not help this thing develop whatsoever, because the environment out here is really good, but I don't know if in of itself it's going to support a supercell growing without undergoing any sort of mergers or anything like that. Again, you've got crazy instability, you do, and your shear is quite
Hey
impressive as
guys,
well, but
how's our storm looking in Perryton?
kind of dying out, to be honest.
Oh, rip. We got some Ryzen Scud going into that. Might be trying to build a wall out here.
We do actually have a notable hail spike, very weak, but it's there.
oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, if you look at Aaron Jacek, we have quite a bit of
You'll notice that it's
Rising
super
Scud.
windy as well. I mean, this is cranking some 50, 60 mile an hour gusts.
Yeah.
That's some pretty structure with that storm. Wow.
I suppose he could be in like the
Holy
RFD
structure.
surge.
My gosh, bro.
Chat intercepted an RFD surge.
I'd rather chase this than Kansas.
Oh yeah.
Well,
What they're going for.
yeah. I mean,
They just warned me.
Tornado warning. Tornado warning.
they warned it
No,
now.
they didn't even.
It's
No, this is
Nebraska.
for Nebraska. We're so guys, new tornado warning here in
All the way
far
over
western Nebraska. So make sure you guys are getting to your safe spots. If you're in that warning, Neparley and Marshland, you guys gotta be ready. There's some goofy locks. What?
So your area of circulation there is going to be crossing Highway 71 shortly, just west of Hemmingford near Marsland. Again, I'm kind of shocked that they fully Tor warned this, but there you go. Again, make sure you're getting to your safe spot, preferably on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. At the same time, we could also be looking at the threat for some pea-sized hail, so make sure you're taking that seriously. Going back down towards Texas, again for our Perryton cell, continuing to just be a monster structure fest. My goodness, I cannot get over that. That is going down as the Texas Panhandle structure of June.
What? They didn't put the Tor possible tag on the new warning.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised at this point. If they didn't do it then, they're not going to do it now, so. But yeah, also note that it's NWS Albuquerque that issued the warning again, so there's got to be something going on in NWS Amarillo. But
that new warning is going to be going out for Darrow Zet and Follett, Texas, for chemical and both sites on 60 mile per hour winds. What's up, Pete Walton? So everyone, make sure you go hit the subscribe button. You don't miss out on any more Super Weather coverage live streams. We're at 9
Wow,
likes.
that's
Let's take
genuinely.
to 15 likes. We rolled it. We were able to hit that goal yesterday, so we can definitely do it again today. Yeah, still some giant hail to the west of Winfield. Looks like we still have over 70 DVZs, which again is indicative of hail, usually at least 2 inches in diameter, but we're likely seeing hail up to baseball size with this storm here.
Oh, Roman drove to the Oklahoma Panhandle. Oh,
It's really not that far from it. It's like an hour drive.
is it? Okay, yeah, he's chasing Bentley right now. Let's go.
Sorry.
South of Wichita for Clearwater, Viola, Conway Springs, and Hayesville. Quarter size sail and 50 mile per hour winds expected, so make sure you are getting indoors and away from windows.
By the way, as I mentioned earlier, we do now have a special weather statement for our storms traveling north of Jacksonville, Illinois. Warned now for some 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts and some penny-sized hail. Again, this previously actually had some broad rotation confirmed via multiple radar sites. But I would not be shocked to see this drop some small hail over the Beardstown area over the next several minutes, so we'll watch out for that. Going back to our Tor warning cell in Nebraska, again, the only Tor warning that we have at the moment, currently still very, very, very broad rotations, barely managing to hang on just northwest of Hemingford there, so we'll continue to watch that. But going back down over towards the Perryton cell, again, this still continues to be the main area of concern for right now, mainly for a hail threat, and then southern Kansas continuing to bring us these monster hail droppers. Again, currently warned for baseball-sized hail as our supercell is over Arkansas City and Winfield, and then continuing to watch our MCS develop in central Kansas. It's really starting to get quite intense. I would not be shocked to see some severe warnings start coming out for that soon. Again, anywhere between Council Grove and Great Bend, get ready. Things are starting to pop off. So,
Yeah.
and again, I would not be shocked to see a flash flood emergency for Wichita by the end of the night, just because we had 6 inches of rain last night, and on top of that, we've already had 3 more inches of rain, and then after this, we're going to be getting another 2 or 3 inches of rain, and eventually, between last night and today, by the time everything's said and done, we could have had a foot of rain within the past 24 hours in Wichita. They did just update the severe thunderstorm warning for Winfield. This is still warned for baseball-sized hail and damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. Also worth noting, it still has the tornado possible tag on it. Again, I don't see this producing in the immediate future, obviously, but some significant damaging winds, some big-time hail can't be ruled out.
The merger coming in through Arkansas City.
Again, PA Storm Trackers actually has some really nice structure there on the Harper storm that we've been talking about for a while now. They've got a pretty nice view there of that thunderstorm. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning going out for areas just to the southwest of Wichita, even technically including downtown Wichita, for quarter-sized hail, damaging wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour. So we'll continue to watch that as this cell continues to move off to the east. Don't see anything tornadic with that in the future, though, mainly due to a significant lack in both instability, and then also it is a somewhat elevated thunderstorm, and it's really not discrete anyways, so nothing to worry about in terms of a tornado threat in Wichita as of right now. We do have some broad circulation developing northwest of Arkansas City there, it looks like, just west of Highway 77. Kind of embedded in our QLCS, so we'll see what happens with that. But continuing to watch this structure cell just southeast of Perryton. As this moves off to the east-southeast towards Follett and Dorazit, however you pronounce that. Our tornado warning in Nebraska continues. Just west of Hemingford, still some very, very, very broad and weak rotation. And then outside of that, I mean, again, we're watching the big time QLCS develop in central Kansas, but um, we don't have a lot else to say, guys. I mean, I really can't imagine myself being here for another 30 minutes, even. I'm going to be honest. I think we're probably ending it off pretty soon. So.
Yeah. Looks like a severe threat is here, or a tornado threat at least is calming down.
And
We have.
sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say the HRRR still has the QLCS intensifying over the next hour. So again, if you go back to the 22Z run of the HRRR, you'll notice that things took a significant downtrend from the 21Z. I mean, it's not. Again, it's really not too far different from what happened in North Texas just a couple weeks ago. Except for this time, it
I
is one state north.
do have to end off stream here. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Make sure you are staying safe out there. If you are ahead of that MCS, still watching out for a pretty significant damaging wind threat overnight. But if you are ahead of these storms, especially are destructive, make sure you are getting indoors and away from windows if you do get put under a severe thunderstorm warning. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you for coming to watch. See you guys in the next video.
Peace. Out, Mr. Storm.
Let's go ahead and turn this on to the last 6 hours so we can see what's really been popping. So, so far the most intense thing that we've seen was the 80-mile-an-hour wind gust from Andover, Kansas. From a hail standpoint, it was baseball-sized hail. I threw out just for fun a little my own most peak probable intensity on my latest community post just to see how accurate we could get. I said most probable hail intensity, baseball-sized. We nailed that one, chat. I said most peak probable gust intensity, 90 miles an hour. We hit 80, and obviously we're still waiting for the main damaging wind threat with our MCS, so we've got time. The tornado threat, I'm just going to be honest, Chad, it was not a good prediction just because at that time the HRRR had the supercells being discrete and also a little bit further south where they'd be able to interact with our boundaries. But I said 130 to 150. Honestly, Harper was probably like around 100 if we're being realistic, so not the most terrible guess in the world, but the tornado threat was really messy to forecast for this event. It went from being extreme to high to and then kind of high again around noon today, and then it went so. But anyway. Not the worst callouts of all time, but something to work on for next time. Again, the new run of the HRRR, the 23Z, has kind of a similar, at least the beginning of it looks very similar to the 22Z. Maybe even a little less intense, a little bit more localized, and less extreme for our overnight MCS. So we'll see what happens, but
Need a tornado warning, guys.
where's that? Wow, they extended the Nebraska storm.
No, it's for a different
Oh,
zone.
yeah, it's for the west. Okay, so our supercell south of Harrison, they're rotating decently strongly along Highway 29. Make sure you are seeking shelter.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, not terrible.
Nope, not at all. What the world, bro? Ah. Yeah, not much to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, very very boring.
Very,
Um,
very boring.
Again, just kind of sitting here. Let's check up here because I'm probably gonna end off stream pretty shortly. Let's check up on our Nebraska, our Dixon tornado yesterday. See if the rating's been changed yet. It is not. I would imagine this is going to have to get upgraded to EF3 just based off of the treaty barking that we saw. But for right now, rated EF2. Um, but we'll see. Again, EF2 134. It's only one off from being EF3 intensity. So, our Minnesota tornado from yesterday, our tornado that went near Nizwa, the PDS tornado, both of them got rated at EF1 intensity. The westerly one, EF1 with wind gusts up to 100 miles an hour. The easterly one, also EF1 with wind gusts up to 100 miles an hour. Again, the most intense damage that we ended up seeing were to some trees, and then I believe we also had a couple of mobile homes flipped, if I'm not mistaken. But luckily, no fatalities, no injuries. But again, very impressive stovepipe tornado there near Nizwa yesterday, and then we obviously have to await our other Minnesota tornadoes from yesterday to be rated. Um, so we'll see. Anyway. Again, I really think we can kind of wrap things up here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about Jesse. That's what I'm planning on doing anyway.
I'm ending in like 15 minutes because I have to go run some errands for my mom.
Oh my goodness, PA Storm Trackers has beautiful structure.
Oh, they do.
Look at that.
Let's throw them up on the big screen, chat.
The big screen.
Yeah, okay, so they're in our Anthony, so they're on the southernmost part of that storm. Could see something come from that. I doubt we will, though. We're gonna see a tornado with this. It's gonna be from there, but I doubt we will. Eric Fox is on that. It's really funny. Eric Fox is like the representative of storm chasing.
Yeah.
Kind of funny how that played out. You're in Tennessee now? Heck yeah, Evan. Good luck on your drive, dude. Stay safe. It's like Tennessee has some showers going through there with an occasional boom of thunder. Nothing too crazy over there, but just be careful when you're driving, Evan.
I feel really bad for the Wichita metro area because they had last night to deal with. Then they're getting hit. Then they're going to get hit with the QLCS. If we take a look at the power outage map by county, you'll notice again, literally Wichita is just in the worst shape. Currently in the Wichita County alone, in Sedgwick County, we have 18,000 customers without power. Sumner County, we've got 600 without power. Butler County, we've got 2,700 without power. Barber County, we've got 30 without power. So definitely some widespread power outages there. And again, unfortunately, that's going to get even worse as we go into the nighttime hours. And they're very hard to restore whenever you've got, a foot of standing water. I mean, not a good situation, but...
Plus, a freaking another QLCS coming through there today.
Exactly. Like I'm genuinely like there are going to be no more trees left in Wichita after tonight. Our Perryton Supercell, by the way, for anybody wondering, has lost any sense of rotation. But I don't know, man. Again, it's kind of just been Bus City lately.
Yep. It's okay though.
A lot of people have been asking about hurricane season for the Atlantic, and I mean it's a late start, guys. It's a very late start. Like we had a late start last year, and Tropical Storm Alberto still, even with it being a late start, had already been developed 2 days from now for last year. So if we have a tropical storm in 2 days, if we get a tropical storm by Thursday, then we're on pace to meet last year. But you can imagine that's not going to happen. I really wouldn't be shocked if we have to wait till July to see anything. Thoughts on Friday? Friday I haven't looked at a whole heck of a lot. Let me let's do some research here, chat. Let's go on to Pivotal. I don't know why I have caps lock on still. Let's go over to the NAM. Friday. Let's go to the Midwest. Yeah, I'm going to cherry pick. Alright, let's go Michigan. Okay, so you've got a pretty decent amount of instability, 2,700 joules per kilogram of surface cape. Your SRH is really quite impressive. You've got good wind shear. Your lapse rates could be a bit more impressive, I'll be honest, sitting at about 6. What in the world is that photograph, chat? What happened there? Yeah, I mean, it's not the most impressive environment in the world, but it's not, like, terrible, I guess. I mean, we'll probably end up seeing a day one, like 2% total risk, maybe a 5% with an uptrend whenever the HRRR begins to come out. Okay, I just realized that is not what you were referring to. Okay, now this could actually be somewhat significant. We've got ourselves, oh my goodness, 6,000 instability. You've got 61 knots of shear at the effective layer, 350 SRH, much nicer photograph. You've got yourselves incredible lapse rates, dude. You're sitting at between 7.5 and 9. Your 3 cape could be a little bit better, so lower level instability would be something to watch for an uptrend if we wanted to see this perform too impressively, but definitely if something like this were to play out, we'd be looking out for, you know, maybe a couple of strong tornadoes. I will say NAM doesn't have a lot of convection, but that's not always something you want to count on the NAM for, so we'll see.
Yeah, the name was doing that for Morton Day too.
Yeah.
About this far out.
So we'll see. By the way, we had a, I suppose this was a few hours ago, but we had a confirmed rope tornado in North Dakota today. I'm guessing it was a Cape Boundary type situation. Rotation near Arkansas City is starting to intensify. Slightly contaminated, but wouldn't be shocked to see them tour warn that precautionary measures could be taken. Broad circulation southwest of Murfreesboro. Talking about Tennessee. Yep. Kind of becoming more broad by the scan, though. What else? Nothing. That's what else. Nothing. I would not be shocked to see them tour warn this, though, again, east of Arkansas City near Silverdale. And outside of that, nothing else to say, in all honesty, guys. We said we were going to be here for 6 hours. That is definitely not happening. Not whatsoever. But I think we had some fun today, so that's all that matters. It is kind of fun, and I do enjoy these days that are kind of a bust, where we just kind of get to joke around and, you know, interact with chat and such. See you, Seth. You know what, Kevin? If the Tsukumari produced 2 land spouts, Tucumcari, that is, if it produced 2 landspouts, and you counted landspouts as tornadoes, we had a tornado in Colorado, a tornado in Wyoming, tornado in North Dakota, tornado in Kansas, plus the 2 landspouts. That would qualify for a tornado outbreak. So we may have very technically scraped the bottom of the barrel for what could be considered a tornado outbreak today. We may have seen it, chat.
How in the world did we see a tornado outbreak today?
Rotation tightening up near Silverdale still. Again, I would watch this. I will say we just got a nasty little cell merger pop out there. But let's lean back in my chair now for fun.
Lucky ballad. Yeah, our Texas, Oklahoma stuff's not doing anything. Like at all, dude. Peace out, Evan. Have a great night, dude. Thanks for tuning in. Go chat. 21 likes, 514 subscribers. Heck yeah. Yeah, Chad, not much, really not anything's happening right now, so kinda, definitely not, as intense as we expected it to be, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, I would not be shocked to see, again, our Silverdale Storm get a tornado warning here. The severe warning expires in 3 minutes, so we'll see what they do with that. At the very least, it'll probably be a considerable severe, and at most, it could be a Tor 1 storm. So, we'll see what happens. I don't, again, like, I don't see this producing, though. Like, I see it rotating, and it could continue to rotate, but I don't see it producing, you know what I mean? Like, our instability out here is okay, but it's not great. You know, you're talking 2,000 joules per kilogram of surface cape. Your bulk shear is obviously pretty incredible, but your storm relative helicity, never mind. I said a really stupid thing. Yeah. Yeah, I see an issue with instability, though, and it's also not surface-based, it's not discrete. A lot of problems still. Again, slightly contaminated still, but definitely rotating there over Silverdale. What's up, Otter? I really do want to thank you guys for sticking around on days like yesterday and today that are just so boring for most of the streams. Like, we have been live for 3 hours, and at least a few of you guys have been watching pretty much the entire time, which really does mean a lot, because, again, this has been such a boring, hard day to sit through. I didn't even want to sit through it for the past 2 hours, I'll be honest, but I do appreciate you guys sticking around, because, again, we never truly know. Only God knows what's going to go down with a day like today. I mean, it really was big or bust, and we happened to get the bust. But, again, as early as, 4:40 in Harper, Kansas, we saw a large cone tornado, and that was evident of what could have been a destructive day if things played out with a few different caveats. So they did just issue the reissue the severe thunderstorm warning. This is for damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour and hail up to lime sized. Does have the tornado possible tag on it, which likely means they're not going to reissue a tornado warning for it. So I think with that, we can probably call our coverage a day here. You gonna end off, Jesse? Oh, Jesse's not even in the call. Oh, he is. He's just deafened. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you all for tuning in. We will be back most likely tomorrow. I will say again, it does look like we could have a localized tornado threat around the Chicago metro region around noon. So we'll watch that. I'm not like super convinced on that just yet, but it is certainly a possibility. I'll probably have a forecast out tonight, honestly, for you guys whenever the 0-0 and the HRRR comes out for it. So again, thank you all for watching. Really do appreciate it. Again, we will be back tomorrow, be back Thursday, forecast tonight. So we will keep you guys posted on literally everything that's going to happen. Have a phenomenal day, you guys. Remember, Jesus loves you. God bless. Peace out.